You are about to listen to Only Fools and Collecting, a podcast for those who like a good moan about figure collecting and don't mind naughty words.
Alright, how are we all? It is episode 28 of Only Fools and Collecting, the very immature, unprofessional little brother of Collecting Weekly. So welcome, we are joined by not only Steve, but we got Dean as well.
Yeah, what's up?
Welcome.
Yeah. We lured Dean in with talk of the boys.
Yeah. We've even dedicated the episode to the season 2 of the boys.
You know what's really funny? I didn't really pay attention to the album art, but
you know what he's doing.
Now I do. At the end of season 2, I'm like, oh.
That's the beautiful thing about it.
Yeah, because it looks so heroic, like just at a glance. But now that I'm sitting here staring right at it, I'm like, oh no.
I can do anything I want.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the like, fuck you, I'll do what I want.
I was expecting him to finish and like shoot out of windows in a building or something.
Yeah.
Well, to be honest, that was actually a deleted scene from the first series. They shot it. That's exactly what happens in the deleted scene, and they took it out because they were so nervous it was going to be a bit too much. But obviously they dialed it back a bit and put it in the end of the second season instead.
Do you know what? Homelander is just the bollocks. He's so good.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He's so good. Like I was saying on our chat a while ago, like I was scrolling through and there was a post by the actor, and he's quite short. He's not as tall as he actually is.
Right.
And like we can give you platforms, and he's like, I want high heels. Give me high heels. And they're like, but we can just do platforms. He's like, no, high heels. And there's a picture of him on the set next to Black Noir and the Wonder Woman. Maeve.
Yeah.
And he's just there with his arms around him, with his legs up in the air, with his giant. And they've made the high heels. They match the rest of the costume as well, so they blend in perfectly. Fucking fantastic! Absolutely fantastic.
Funny.
So good. Well, I guess we'll talk about it properly later. Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, look, we have comments. We have people in the chat. Facebook user. You need a better name. The Office of Foreign Asset Control podcast. Yes. Why not? We'll go for it. We've got Toy Mafia, our main man, Danny Lee, as well.
Hey, Danny.
Yeah, we are all here, so we might as well get this show on the road. Now we've got a stonking 4 people watching us. You poor people.
It's Cody. Why is he not?
Hello, Cody. Yeah, that's slightly better than Facebook user.
Maybe he was on YouTube.
Maybe, yeah, possibly. Okay, so new this fortnight. What have we all got?
Let me
tell us what we got.
Need to do our. We need Dean to do our.
I can't believe I've done that.
Oh yes, what the scrapyard, Annie? Yeah,
I much prefer the Mexican version.
Yeah,
I don't even know if I can replicate it. I'll have to go back and listen to it. But yeah, just a quick shout out to Wattos for sponsoring our show.
You can do it, Watto.
It's funny. I actually saw this guy here, the one with the mask over his eyes, because I was watching because we were talking about Maul and stuff. And is that what his name is?
Yeah.
And I just watched the episode that had old Obi-Wan in when he killed Maul.
Yes.
That was quite cool, and I just saw him in there. But yeah, it was a good episode actually.
Spoiler alert.
Well, yeah.
But if you haven't seen it,
that's old. Yeah,
it was 2 or 3 years ago, I think. Yeah. But yeah, that was quite cool. Although he didn't really put up much of a fight. And it wasn't clear how he'd actually killed him. I don't know what he actually did. He didn't chop him in half, or
I suppose because it's a cartoon.
Yeah, he chopped the sabers in half, but yeah, but no, it was.
He got him real good down the sternum.
Yeah, I think so, but unseen to child's eyes.
The thing is, when you watch like all the Clone Wars and then you watch Rebels, and the more it goes on, Maul just gets more fucked over and fucked over and fucked over. And in the end, all he wants to do is just fucking kill Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
And it's almost like he just goes, oh, do you know what?
He's just spent by then. It's like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's just like, oh, just fucking kill me. I've had enough of this shit. But it's worth it. It's worth going back and watching Rebels.
Yeah, it was good. I like that one. Because I mean, obviously, I like stuff that kind of fleshes out the original trilogy. But yeah, that's good.
When Thorn rocks up as well.
I think with conjunction with Clone Wars, the prequel trilogy is so much better.
Yeah.
And I think Rebels does the same thing, kind of bridging those two together, the OG and the prequel trilogy.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a little too childish sometimes, very magical, like a lot of MacGuffins. It's like, a portal that takes us to safety. It's like, I guess. Yeah. The Empire would just turn this desert into glass, but if you want to escape through a magic portal, that's fine.
Yeah, it's the magic portal that means that they save Ahsoka and stuff like that. And it's like,
so it's kind of, you got to take it with understanding that, but I don't hate Rebels.
No, but I agree with what you said. It kind of, because before Clone Wars, I was very much like, do you know what? Fuck the prequels. Jar Jar Binks can kiss my ass. I fucking had enough of it. And then the only one I'd actually sit and properly watch would be Revenge of the Sith. Other than that, I was like, no, fuck this. Not having it. Fuck them. And then I watched Clone Wars all the way through, and I was like, it made me appreciate the films a lot more because of where it kind of fitted in, and it kind of explained things a bit more. And they retrospectively went back and made the films not terrible for me anymore. So yeah, they were good. So
okay, maybe up.
What we got, Pete? What you got?
Okay, I have a couple of Asmus figures. This on the left is Faramir, who is the brother of Boromir. He's a Gondor Ranger, yes, and this is the one that people thought looked a bit like Shia LaBeouf. I don't think the final version is quite as much him, but you can still see a bit of it, and it's not an amazing likeness to the David Thewlis or something his name is, but
it's not terrible. I know exactly who that's supposed to be.
Yeah, but it's a great figure. All the clothing and the tailoring and the metal sword and stuff, it's all really nice.
You got Billy Butcher in the back,
and I'm pleased with him. So he's and it's only cost it's about $150 kind of going rate for an Asmus. That was direct from them.
Oh wow! I thought maybe it was like used.
No, that was this brand new. It's just come out.
I guess I'm so used to paying stupid prices.
Yeah. And then I've been after Thorin from The Hobbit for a while because I've got Bilbo and I've got Gandalf there, and I've been having a look round, and prices have been a bit high, but I snagged him on. I put an offer in $150 and got accepted. So again, really nice kind of clothing and again a metal Orcris sword. Wow. So yeah, he's really cool. Very nice. He's got rooted hair, so it's a bit wild. I haven't actually done much with it. I've just kind of pushed it back, so I think it looks pretty good. And then on the right here, this is my whole collection as it stands at the moment. And the reason I put it in is because I've just fitted these new doors. So these are Billy bookcases, but these are the elusive Maulidon doors. So they're pretty much entirely glass. They've got a very thin kind of like about a 5-6 mil metal bezel. So there obviously is a piece down the middle, but it's so much better than the ones I had before because I was losing, a good portion of that middle with figures hidden behind it. So I fitted those last couple of days, and I absolutely love them because you're trying to get to life, Dave. Yeah.
I just can't get any at the moment.
No, they are fantastic. I got mine direct from IKEA delivered, so obviously I had to pay about £30 delivery.
It's not cheap, is it? It's like £39, and I only
it is, which is ridiculous. But when the doors are costing £100 for 4, but I was just like, if it's any way I can get them, and it is worth it, definitely. They're so much better, and they're so easy to fit. I've used new brackets, but I just literally screwed them straight into the same holes as the old ones. I packed them out a bit so that I could get them to sit almost flush together in the middle. There's a tiny gap, but they're pretty much flush. And I'm not even going to bother putting the handles on because you can just get them from the top, and then you haven't got the handles, sticking in the way as well. So yeah, they're brilliant. Yeah, and they don't take long to fit, and I can just see so much more of my collection now without having to open the doors up. So yeah,
look awesome. It really does.
Yeah,
you've done well there.
Yeah, I'm very happy with that. Yeah, that's me. Steve, what you been up to?
I've got a digital image. That is it. No, I've obviously been talking about doing this for the last few shows. I've wanted a side parting head sculpt of Arnie, a kind of 90s look where he's a bit. What I've realised is his face is less angular in the 90s movies.
Put on a little bit of
he was less chiseled. So the reference pic I gave the artist was the True Lies.
Hell yeah.
Look, and it's weird because when you look at the still digital image, it doesn't matter what angle you look at it from, it never looks as good as when you're actually manipulating it in 3D. So when you actually see the video of it, it looks fantastic. And I'm desperate. I tried to print it today, and Ian will smile, but I didn't put enough supports on, and it failed, and went a bit wrong. So
after how many hours?
7.5.
Oh,
so scratch that. So unfortunately, next time I'll have a proper, hopefully a painted sculpt for it, because I'll be sending it straight to Ian to paint up. But I'm going to print a good few of them off for a few different ones.
Failed prints are the worst.
When
I'll
they
get
fail,
like 80% on a print, and then the nozzle will move the print ever so slightly and just throw everything off. And
it's so annoying.
The first Mando helmet.
It's not like you could melt it down and reuse it. It's just it's no good.
You're fucked.
F5 fucking hate it.
I've done it loads. I've done it with fucking the scale up on stuff. I've done it with I was printing so I printed that Mando helmet, and for some reason the supports failed on one side. But it's so annoying because the whole helmet's printed and it's pretty much there, but it's just this side cheek. Now it just isn't there. And I'm like, wow, you can't. What the fuck am I meant to do with that now?
I would say 99% of the problems I have with the printer are because of the support structures.
The
print will be fine, but something in the support fucks up, and the support either falls, misses a layer or something, and then it's all catastrophic after that.
I'm finding scaling difficult as well. Some stuff comes out absolutely fine. Other stuff is either just slightly too small or slightly too big. So it makes it really awkward. I printed out a Vader mask and head and all that, and I measured off of the one I've got. So I was like, right, that's how wide this bit is, so that's how wide it's going to be, and we're going to scale it all in proportion. It didn't scale in proportion. The thing's fucking huge. If I put it on my Vader, it would be like out of space
helmet.
Just fucking huge. So I'm like, what the fuck do I do with it?
A Funko Pop.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, what do I do with it? I've printed it. I don't want to throw it away because it still looks cool, but I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to do with it. And I've got all these little Joker heads that are too small that I'm like, I guess I could try painting it just for a bit of practice, but I can't do fuck all with it. I just have to paint it and throw it in the bin.
Nah, it's not.
Paint it, put a little string on it, and hang it from your rearview mirror.
Yeah.
Good point. That'll work.
So, Steve, where's this sculpt? I'm guessing Running Man, True Lies, Total Recall, maybe?
Yeah, those three to start with.
Jiggle all the way.
Last Action Hero.
Kindergarten Cop. All of those. Junior, you name it. It's all. It's
pretty universal.
Most
That's
of it.
cool.
Yeah.
Are you gonna print and sell these, or what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I'm not gonna go crazy selling them, but I've got two different versions. So I've got a side parted one, and I've got the True Lies look, which is more of a. It's no parting, but it's just got more volume to it anyway, which you had in a couple of different ones. But what I'm also going to do, since I've got the files, is I'm going to have a go at digital sculpt him myself and make a bald version for Mr. Freeze.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
And do that. And just have a go at doing that as well. So, and it's got a slight smirk on it because every single Arnie sculpt you can possibly buy has got a serious face. So the thing I liked about the True Lies look was he's got a bit of a smirk. Which, so that's the plan.
So somebody put out files for the Mr. Freeze armor and stuff. Can you get those? Can you?
No. Well, when I was going to go was do the bathrobe look. You know when?
That'd be good actually. Yeah.
So I was going to go for that one because that's got to be easier to do than the armor, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Big time.
The only other thing I've had this past fortnight is invoices for stuff. You know, I've been saying I've got stuff on order. Well, it's starting to come through now. So I've had an invoice for the So Toys John Wick sculpts.
Yes,
damn it, dude.
Had them.
I need one. I got John Wick a few days ago.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I had that, and then I had I'm sure it's a Red Man, Vincent Vega with the ponytail.
Okay.
That's just coming out as well. So I've had the invoice for that. I know there's more to come, but that's what I've had so far.
Nice. Be a busy boy.
I know. I'm going to get my wallet out soon.
So I have, although I'm skint, I've managed to get a few bits. So first of all, disclaimer: my Bespin Luke, it's now 10 to 9 at night, and according to Parcelfuls, the worst courier in the UK, it's still out for delivery. Lying bastards.
Yeah.
So
don't go to bed just in case.
No, just in case. I don't have a shit just in case they turn up. So I swapped my Galaxy's Edge Return of the Jedi saber for it because it's sat in a box. I've not got it out. I've not opened it really. I've whooshed it around a couple of times, and I thought I need to strip back my collection, like just the stuff I've got. Like, I've got bits, and I've got like that Batman statue as well. Like, I just 6 scales where I'm at. That's what I collect. That's what I should just stick to.
So what did that saber cost you?
So I got my mate to get it from Galaxy's Edge. So he got that and the blade, and it was about just under 200 quid. Okay. When you go on eBay and have a look over here for them, because you can only get them at Galaxy's Edge, they go for between 220 and 250.
Yeah.
But at the moment, no one's really buying anything because of, I think COVID's kicking a lot of people in the bollocks. So people are having to sell stuff. And I was like, this guy had the DX Luke without the clean version. So this came with everything apart from the clean version. Do you know the boring DX stand, not the cool one?
Yeah.
So it was missing the boring stand. It had the decent stand. And it had the weather vane, 200 quid. So I was like, fancy a trade? And he was like, yeah, all right, fine. So I was like, right, fine, that'd do me. Because out of the DXs,
that's pretty
out of the DX Lukes, I thought it was pretty fair. So
have you owned one before it or not?
Yeah, I've owned the DX7 set.
Yeah, I thought
before,
you did.
And I pied it out and got rid of it, and it was a stupid mistake. In fact, this is probably the 4th one I've owned, because about 3-4 years ago, you could pick these up 10 a penny. They weren't that expensive.
That's right,
So I was doing like Dagobah Lukes and all sorts with them. People were getting them to put the Sideshow Jedi Luke clothes on and all that kind of stuff. So they were quite readily available. But now, obviously, the fucking prices of everything.
That was before Hot Toys kind of launched their whole Star Wars line, wasn't it?
Yeah, this was about the only Star Wars thing you could get for a while.
Yeah.
Here you go. Look, you can get these. You can get those sabers online now.
Yeah.
What from the?
Well, don't tell the guy you traded that.
What? Yeah. What? What? And they ship it to here in the UK because that's an American website. I'll have a look at it, but I'm not doubting you. But I'll have a look. So yeah. So that is in a van somewhere. So I can't fucking wait for that cunt to turn up. And then I got, and I've been after one of these for fucking ages. It was a Deathstroke. I'd wanted one of these for ages and reserved to the fact that I was never actually going to get one because the price of them had gone fucking silly bollocks. Mm-hmm. And our good friend Lee Farncombe.
Yep.
That guy is an absolute fucking angel because whenever he sells anything, it's always reasonably priced or cheap. Like he's never amazing. I've never seen the man fleece anyone with anything. He's always like consistent.
I don't know how he does it. It's like he's like Mother Teresa of the 1/6 scale.
Yeah, I don't know how he does it. So this was £200 unopened, like brand spanking new. And I love it. I think it's fucking fantastic. Yeah, it's such a good figure. Great. Yeah, I mean, I might dull it down with a black wash, just because I like that grimy look. But
does he need any chrome on him?
No, oddly enough, no. This doesn't. This can stay unchromed. But there is a really cool feature on this. I don't know why they don't do it on more toys, like Hot Toys with armor. Is that chest piece comes off and you swap it out for a piece that's got like a cutout here, like on the chest, so the arms can actually pull in.
That's right.
So when he's holding like the sword and stuff, you can get it so he's holding the sword right out in front of him. I don't know why they don't do that with other figures, because the amount of times where I've had to like carefully Dremel away bits of armor so that so you can improve the articulation. And this is brilliant because you just do that swap out bit.
It's a very well articulated figure, isn't it?
Oh, it's really good. The only bit that annoys me slightly, and I don't know why they've done it, is the bandolier that goes across his chest has two of those horrible plastic poppers.
Oh, yeah.
So they're meant to clip on just above where I've got the grenades hanging on the picture. I'll tell you, if anyone has managed to do that, I'd love to know how.
I have.
How the fuck have you done that?
Brute force and ignorance.
I was stretching it. I was spitting on it. I was fucking doing everything.
Stretch it to hell. You really,
you
got to get one in and then just pull and hope for the best.
I couldn't even get one in.
Yeah,
couldn't get it anywhere near. No. So in the end, I was like, do you know what? It's fucking fine as it is. I'm not going to poke him in. But yeah, I love it. I think it's a fantastic figure. Like everything about it's brilliant. And the thing I found was a bit weird though was that it's the only figure from Origins, as far as I know. Are there any more Hot Toys ones?
Nope, it's the only one from Origins so far, anyway.
Yeah,
they need to be Batman. They really do.
Yeah, because as much as Origins wasn't perhaps the best game in the series, the suit design was really good. So yeah. I've
obviously got loads of Origins custom figures, and he's the only one where it's from. Yeah, it's the only
an official. It really makes me want to get more Arkham stuff, because now because also I've had Batman for ages. Now I've got Deathstroke. I'd really like a Joker, but the price of them is just fucking astronomical.
No, I jumped on that the moment it was available.
I don't know why I didn't. Everything about it is fun. I think the head sculpt's a bit flat, if I'm honest. I think that could probably do with a wash or something just to bring out detail. But yeah,
it's too really white.
Yeah. But that's kind of next on my want list is that I keep saying so I've dug all my boxes out the loft of all the stuff I want to sell, and I'm tempted to put a few back, but just nothing's buying or selling at the moment.
No, it's not
really. When you look at the groups and you look at the stuff that's been listed, like the amount of Marvel stuff's ridiculous. There's so much of it.
Yeah.
And it's all quite getting cheaper and cheaper as people are getting a little bit desperate.
Wait until the last of the Endgame stuff comes out.
Yeah.
It's going to be he'll have it all over again. People will be trying to get out of the older Captain America and the older Iron Man figures to get the new ones, and we'll do the same thing again.
Yeah. I'll tell you what I did discover though, and I might give them a go, is the Figure Pit. Have you heard of them?
Someone mentioned this the other day. I don't know where it was.
So Dean Knight has a website called the Figure Pit, and they buy and sell figures. and they had, and I wish I jumped on it. They had, do you know the old Sideshow Batman that everyone buys for the body?
Yeah,
the blue one, 90 quid. So I was like,
I've owned that once. Yeah,
not a bad price.
They had that 90 quid. They've got a Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake on there. I think it's missing a few bits, 130 quid.
Wow.
There's some real cheap stuff. They got a couple of first order troopers on there for 90 quid each. I was looking at thinking, fuck me, that's pretty cheap. And they also buy stuff as well off you. Okay. So you send them a picture and a bit of text on there about the condition of it, and they buy it off you and they send someone around to pick it up. So I was like, I might spend some time at the weekend just sending over the stuff I want to sell and seeing how much I can get for it. Because really, all I want now is a Mando and and possibly a new Maul that we'll talk about later. But yeah, I saw it the other day and I thought, I wonder if you guys have heard of it. Looks pretty good.
I've heard about it. I just hadn't been on it, but I'm going to have a look at that.
Yeah, have a look.
I've got a Mando pending in Hong Kong somewhere.
Bastard.
But it seems like they're holding them for like it. I bought it over a week ago, and it's just sat at the HK Destination Centre, and it says something like due at post office in within 11 days or something. So there's obviously some COVID hold-ups there, which is a bit annoying because I didn't really realise that. And I could have got one in the UK for about £15 more, and I kind of thinking now I wish I'd just paid the extra, but it'll get here eventually.
I mean, I was looking, and Sideshow's like the only Sideshow seems a fair bit cheaper. Like all the prices I was looking at, Sideshow was coming out about £100 cheaper. Even thinking about like import tax and stuff like that. So I was thinking, well, if I can shift some stuff, which it doesn't look like I am going to be able to because no one wants to buy anything.
No.
I'll order one.
How much did yours cost you, Dean?
Wait, which ones?
Mando.
God, it was not that expensive. 240-ish, 245.
Oh, I mean, wow. Wish I could have got one for under 200 quid. Yeah.
Well, because they're 200 quid on Sideshow at the moment. By the time you factor in shipping and import fees, go top end and say 80 quid. That's still cheaper than the 350.
Oh, it is. Yeah,
quid that most places are charging.
270 to Tim sent.
So I got mine through Stevens Collectibles, so I didn't have to pay shipping.
But then we're talking about paying. I mean, we didn't pre-order. So our fault. So we're obviously paying.
An
off-the-market premium at the moment. But
I just played the 243 flat.
No, that's great. Yeah, but I didn't expect to love the figure, but it just looks phenomenal, and everyone's saying it's one of Hot Toys' best. And
I definitely have my issues with it.
320 from Greg, 230 from Greg.
There he is.
Yeah, it really is probably one of the nicest figures I've picked up this year. There's just some stuff I'm not a huge fan of. The clip on the rifle, it's blocking my face.
Yeah.
One, it's incredibly delicate, so you could probably put it in and out of the little hole on his chest right here, maybe 4 or 5 times before that peg's gonna break, if you're lucky. So I didn't even bother touching it. I left it in the box because then I was having this conversation with Zach last night. The strap is permanently attached to the rifle.
Yeah.
So if you have him holding the rifle, you have to figure out what you're gonna do with the bands.
Yeah.
And I was like, in the show, obviously it connects to his body, but it's a separate prop when he's just running around with it.
Yeah.
Right. It's the magic of making a TV show. Yeah. But it doesn't translate that well into a figure. I feel like maybe they could have just done like a magnet thing, because
people are doing a magnet.
It's kind of unsightly just having it like this. Right, just like obviously that band is supposed to be here, so it's a little annoying on the shelf. Like, well, I know it's not supposed to look like that, but I'm not gonna break my figure.
So I suppose the option would be you could cut the strap away from the rifle,
right? Which is
glue that in and then put magnet on his back and on the rifle, so it just snaps on.
Yeah, if you're really good at that kind of shit,
I might do that. I might give it a go.
Yeah,
because I'm never going to sell him, so I don't mind. And I'm actually going to do a body swap. I'm going to put him on an M33.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that was another thing I was going to say. The fat suit there's too much of it. They put it in the legs and all the way down the arms. I feel like it could have been almost like a tank top kind of thing, and it would have been fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of people.
Getting him to even do this pose is difficult.
Yeah, that's bad. Because he's this kind of figure you just want to put in like really dynamic, gunslinger poses. I've seen people that have just cut off the chest and the top of the arms, and then put the sleeve bits back on. Because apparently the gauntlets are a bit loose if you don't have the fat suit. But I've also seen someone do the M33 swap, and Ian will know we've both got some badly butchered M33s that we use for indie. So I've swapped that indie onto a JX01 body, which are brilliant. I can't recommend them enough. They're really good, those bodies. So I've now got this, what I think will work, because it's a trimmed down M33, so it's not got the big shoulder muscles and it's thinner in the torso. I think it's going to actually work really well for the Mando. So that's why I'm itching to get hold of him, because I want to do the body swap and I want to do the magnet thing. And
the nice thing about this is it's all Velcro, so
you don't have to.
Yeah, because like the Sideshow Boba Fett's, you literally have to like break the armor off the body. So
I think they said you've got to undo one stitch or something on the outfit, which is not.
I'm excited to see how that turns out, because I'm not brave enough to do it. And honestly, he's serviceable enough. I usually do museum poses anyway, so like this aiming pose is pretty good for me. So I'm like,
he looks badass anyway.
I'm excited to see how it turns out.
See, I'm tempted just to wait until the Beskar version comes out and then make my mind up, because I think there's going to be a lot of people who will list theirs to get the Beskar version.
Well, I've got the Beskar version on order, and I'm now thinking I wanted the first version, so I might be one of them people that ends up swapping for the other one.
Yeah.
Honestly, now I had the Beskar on order. I still do technically, because he came with the Baby Yoda and the pram.
Oh, the Hallmark one's really good. Though,
this thing is so good, dude. That I'm honestly thinking
you can't get them in the UK, and they're going for stupid money on eBay now.
Oh, no way! Are they really?
Yeah.
Maybe we can find some and send them to you guys, because it really is that good. Because honestly, Baby Yoda's not a character you're gonna do more than this with anyway. So like, I don't care it's not articulated. I don't care you can't take him out. That's what it's gonna look like on the shelf anyway.
Yeah, because we had this conversation with Ian about the because I thought, well, maybe I'll just think, oh, okay, I've missed the boat on this one. I'll go for the Beskar one. But I don't know. There's something about the original one. I think when I see the Beskar one, I see Jango Fett a bit too much. It's too clean. It's too uniform. I like the kind of the just pieced together kind of. Yeah. And it's all battle damaged and weathered and stuff. So
yeah, I think they gave him his Beskar armor too soon. Like, 4 episodes in, he had it. It's like, dude, that should have been like an episode 10 kind of thing, or 8 or whatever the last episode.
It should have been like the whole first season, shouldn't it? Really?
Yeah. Well, most other things, like you progress and they get bits as they go. It was just like, oh, like second, third episode. Oh, here you go. Have this badass armor. It's like
or even something like the first Iron Man movie. Yeah, he has kind of janky armors. He gets the Mark III, and then something happens where it's like, hey, guess what? Now the Mark III is not as good as it's supposed to be. Or like Spider-Man, you had to go back to the homemade suit, right?
Yeah.
So it's like maybe something like that, like his armor gets stolen and he's got.
Because effectively, Series 1, he builds all the way up to a jetpack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
that's the final episode payoff. Here's your jetpack. When really, to me, it probably would have been better if he stayed in this armor for the whole series, and the payoff was, here's your Beskar armor.
Yeah,
he got it very fast, didn't he?
Because this isn't even a whole episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the only reason I didn't put the Beskar armor on this arm is because I'm gonna get the Beskar one later anyway.
Yeah. I'll be displaying it with the original one on. Yeah.
It's like, it's so weird. It's such a weird decision, but I think it's a must-have figure anyway.
Yeah.
Either way you go.
So I should hopefully have him and have done my mods well, maybe by 2 weeks' time. I hope that we shall see.
I'm hoping to have actually sold something in 2 weeks' time to make the decision to get one.
What have you still got for sale? Just to remind us.
Again, I was like, I want to ditch my Marvel stuff, but it's Thanos that's clawing me back because he's just so fucking cool. But then he'd be the only.
Now the prices are dropping on him now. You get him for like $240 now.
Yeah. So
for God, what I think maybe 260 shipped or 240 shipped.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've got the War Machine.
Yep.
The Iron Man 3 War Machine. I've got which is effectively the Age of Ultron War Machine. It's exactly the fucking same.
Yeah.
I've got my Mark 42. I'm going to get rid of that.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep. I'm going to keep the concept cap because it's the best Captain America as far as I'm concerned. And Thanos, I'm going to keep those two because I need one to pair with the other. And then my Dusty Deadpool, I'm getting rid of. I stripped all the grey off and weathered him up properly. So I'm getting rid of those, and then I think the Guyver's going to have to go because it just doesn't go with anything else. I mean, I take photos of it, and I'm like, it's fucking amazing, but I could sell that and get a Mando without having to sell anything else.
Or you could just send it to me, and
What? So I'll send it to you, and you send me the Mando.
Oh no,
no!
Or you send me the Guyver, and then Guyver, and whenever you want it back, I'll just send it to you.
Because the thing is with the Guyver is the guy who makes them is really cool, and the stuff he does is great. But there isn't that many of them. Like it really is like very and it's very limited, and it's not like everything else where if I sell it, I can buy it back eventually.
Exactly, which is why you should send it to me.
I'll have to
sell it. I'll just sell it, or I'll just send it back to you. No money.
I mean, I'll sell it, and it'd be $250, and someone will buy it like that. I know that because I've had a few people. Every time I've even remotely sniffed at listing it, I get messages. But it's going to cost me like $350 to buy it back. And then what happens if he stops making them? Just goes, I've had enough of this shit. I ain't going to do it anymore.
Yeah.
But then on the other hand, it's sitting up there with my indies. It doesn't go. I'm not going to get any xenomorphs or anything like that to go with it.
It's a bit of an oddball, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's just so fucking cool.
You also run into the issue of the possibility of somebody actually making one and taking the market. Like, why would I pay you $250 for your custom one or $350 when I could get this one for $180? It comes out next year.
Yeah.
And the thing is, this is the Dark Hero version. So I've got the Dark Hero version. I used to have a Matronics version and got rid of that. I used to have them paired up together and they look pretty cool. But yeah, it's just I ever just need. And the thing is, if I got rid of it and got a Mando, and then say next week Mando's like fucking 10 a penny because the best guy comes out, I'm gonna feel like a right cunt. So it's like, it's like I just don't know what to do with it. What I need.
Yeah.
Go on.
That best guy's not out for a while, though, is it? It's got to be another good few months, I suppose.
Yeah.
I thought it was a long way off, I think.
Yeah.
Let me check.
I played a very small part in the manufacture of some of those Guyvers. Probably not your one, Ian, because you've had yours quite a while. He was after feet. I sent him a load of feet from my figures. And he uses those feet with the bendy.
Is that what he wanted them for?
Bendy toe on, yeah. So I just sent him a load. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember him asking.
Because I must admit, like, my first Guyver I had off him, like, it was probably like a year and a half, something like that, for it to come through. Because I traded an Amazing Spider-Man when they were like 130 or quid, something like that. And at the time he was selling the Guyvers because he just started doing it relatively cheap. And I was like, well, do me a Guyver, we'll trade. So yeah, no worries. And then he was having problems with undersuits. And I think I paid for like the import on some of them and stuff like that. And I'd sent him bits and pieces, and I had a guy with a kit, and I sent him the hands from that, and it took fucking ages for it to come through. And when it did, it was so good. And then he started doing the Dark Hero ones, and it was like a whole different level. Like, they are fucking fantastic. But now I'm like proper balls deep into Star Wars. I want more and more Star Wars. So pretty much Star Wars, Batman, Indiana Jones, and things from the 80s. I've kind of gone back to where I started.
That's where I've get settled, really.
Yeah, so I don't know. I have to see what I do. But
the Beskar is July to April.
So I think you can
still
still
a long time, yeah.
Yeah, so even if you did pay $280-ish for the amount, I think you'd have enough fun with him to warrant paying the extra than waiting. I think.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, if I got rid of Deadpool and say the War Machine, that could get me enough.
Yeah.
Even if I went right, $150 each, fucking get rid of them. That would get me what I wanted. So dude, I think I might just have to do it.
If someone could get a Mark 42 for $150, that's a hell of a deal, dude.
Yeah. The thing is,
really
I never test the batteries. I never switch any of it on. So anytime I ever sell an Iron Man, I'm like, I don't know if the lights work.
Yeah.
I don't, because I don't give a shit about light up features. So I'm like, don't know if it works. Don't care if it works. So I always sell them a little bit cheaper just to cover my ass with that.
In case it doesn't work, yeah.
Yeah, and the Mark 42 is like the cheapest Iron Man because no fucker ever wants them.
Really? I thought it held its value pretty good.
I don't. All the ones I see always
dirt
cheap over here. Like they're just
that popular. Was it?
I feel like over here.
This is why I should live in America. All my stuff would be worth a fortune. I'd be sorted. I would be absolutely fucking sorted.
So, Dean, have you got anything new other than your spanking new truck this week?
Yeah, my truck, dude. Yeah, I did. I finally got to open this and mess with it. It's my John Wick.
Oh yeah, I saw you opening him up.
From John Wick 2.
After Dark.
Yeah, dude, this thing's sweet, man. I've wanted a John Wick for a while, so I got one from Cody, the DM for our Dungeons and Dragons show when we have it.
Yep.
And
dude, it looks so good.
It's fantastic, man. It really is. It's a really great figure. I want that head sculpt from who makes it, Steve?
So.
Yeah.
Off for some daddy duties, I think. But yeah,
I've seen some. Oh shit! Oh, I didn't even realize he was gone.
He's gone. I heard someone crying in the background, and he went. So
I've seen some pictures with that head sculpt. It sits too low, but I feel like that's a really easy fix. So, but yeah, I'm gonna try and get one of those because his beard, like, it's very soft. The details on his face are really soft. But I feel like that head sculpt will really set this figure off. This thing is sweet. But that's just it. John Wick and my truck, man. That big old V8. That thing's thirsty, dude. I'm averaging 15 miles per gallon.
Oh my God.
Nice.
Yeah,
you'd have to be an oligarch in Britain to run something like that.
Yeah,
dude, I got a stupid good deal on it, dude. It's got like the all digital display, all leather interior, pretty much every bell and whistle you can imagine.
That's quite for 2015. It had the digital display. That's quite
dude. And like, other than the tachometer and the speedometer, everything's digital. Like the other because my buddy has a model. It's a 1 year newer, but it's like the trim package isn't as nice, and he has all his gauges are like actual gauges. I was like, damn, I didn't know I got all digital. But yeah, it's an amazing truck, man. It's super nice.
Just 15 miles to the gallon. That's crazy.
Yeah, dude, it's not fun.
And that's driving it lightly, probably as well.
Yeah, no, I think on the highway I'll get 20, but I don't really drive on the highway that much.
But I bet the fuel tank's massive.
Yeah, it's probably, well, I don't know about massive. It's probably about 22 gallons, 25.
Yeah,
the fuel tank's probably the size of an average British car.
Yeah, you're probably not wrong.
How much is a gallon of fuel over there now?
I've 185.
What?
What are we? £5?
Yeah, easy.
Yeah.
That's I
So what? $7? $7.50?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easily.
Dude.
It's like
that's
five
like
times. Oh man.
That's our lowest gas is like $1.85. If you buy like the really nice stuff, it's maybe $2.60. I would say probably like $2.30.
Yeah.
That's so wild.
Fuel is just fuel over here is 80% tax, and it's just always been horrendous.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I can't even imagine that.
Yeah,
the
government taxes the hell out of it.
All the world's supercars basically come from over there. Like the biggest, thirstiest motors on the planet.
And they sell most of them to the States because you can afford the petrol. But yeah,
I guess you're not lying, dude. That's wild.
Yeah.
Isn't there like a tax on it, like depending on how many liters a motor is?
Yes.
Oh, well, road tax.
Road tax.
They've changed it all recently, but you just pay a massive lump sum up front when you buy it if it's new, and then after that, whatever the car, you pay the same amount every year. But you
the older vehicles are all on engine size. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's actually on emissions, but it's related.
They have something kind of similar to that here, where every year you have to pay for the registration.
Right.
And if you drive like a little car, it's like $40, but if you drive a truck, it's $100. But,
yeah, same kind of thing.
I mean, it's really not that.
Yeah.
So I drive a Ford Focus, and it costs me near enough like £200 a year to tax.
Wow.
Like, it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it is quite a nice car. It has an AM/FM radio.
Oh, nice.
Whoa.
Not too shabby.
Dude, this thing has seat coolers, which I've never heard of. Like, I've heard of seat warmers, but I could like put air conditioning on my tank. Like, it's
the only way my seats get warm is if I piss myself. Right. I've got this wonderful thing called a cup holder, which is right by my my handbrake, and this is quite a good feature. Very good. This I've got an armrest that extends. It makes a swooshing noise. The only downside, though, is if I've got a cup in the cup holder, can't use it.
Dude, you guys need trucks, man. Because
electric windows. I just press a button, goes down.
Nice, dude.
Then, but this fucks me off with it, right? I press one button, the window goes down. I have to hold the cunt for the entire way. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what you get for buying a British Ford.
Yep. The miracle of British technology, that.
Well, I'm a Ford guy as well. So what do you drive, Steve?
Volkswagen.
Oh,
nice.
But the problem, you're gonna hate me, but I have to have a brand new car every 6 months.
We don't hate you for that.
Really?
Yeah, I have to. Yeah, it's the company's work policy. So I literally always have a brand new Volkswagen on the drive.
Wow.
You said it's through work?
Yeah. We charge back the mileage that we use, which isn't very much at the moment because we're not going anywhere because of COVID. But we get this discounted price.
Are you leasing vehicles every 6 months? That seems wild.
It's not a lease. It's through a company work scheme where you basically you get a discounted price to buy the car, but then you charge it back through your fuel.
Right.
So it works out good.
That's pretty sweet. I've had the same car since I turned 18, which is the one that got totaled.
Oh wow.
So it was time for me to get a really nice truck. So
nice.
It's a little older than I wanted, but the mileage was low, and I'm telling you, like, it just packed with every like creature comfort known to man. So I'm super stoked.
Hey, Ford Club. Yeah. I've always owned Fords because my dad and my brother work for him. Well, my dad's retired now, but
the truck that got totaled was a Ford, and we got it in 1999, and it was still on the road. So
I don't know if I told you about my Ford Fiesta I had back a few years ago. I blew my head gasket on my, because I had an Astra, I had a Vauxhall Astra, and I was going from Crawley to Croydon in 20 minutes every day So I was doing about 90 mile an hour on the motorway, blew the head gasket. Luckily, my mate was at college training to become a mechanic. So he skimmed the head gasket and fixed it for me, and I fucking sold it. And my mum's mate was like, I've got this little Ford Fiesta. It just needs a couple of bits doing to it, but you can have it. I was like, you're giving me a car? Like a stranger is giving me a car. And at that age, I didn't think it must be a shithole. I was thinking, it's a free car. Brilliant.
Right. Yeah.
So I turn up and she's like, it's got a few funny little quirks. I was like, it's a free car. Like, fine. Right. To get into it, so someone had tried breaking into it unsuccessfully. They fucked all the locks on every door.
Wow.
Including the boot. So the two locks on the front didn't work. So you had to go to the boot, stick the key in the lock in the boot, twiddle around until you felt the biting point. Then the boot would open up. Then to open up the front doors, there was a piece of string that was tied to the door handle.
Oh
right?
my
God. You had to pull it and it would open the door.
Oh, that's amazing.
Get in, right? You get in, and then I shit you not, you'd stick your finger in a cigarette lighter, feel for the thick wire, and pull that as you turn the ignition, right? Then the fucker would start. Okay. So the amount of times I would be trying to get cheap car insurance, and they go, "Has it got an immobilizer?" I'd be like, "You're sitting comfortably." They were all about. And they were like, "Yeah, that doesn't count." I was like, "You fucking should do. No fucker's gonna nick it." But it was a proper bastard in the rain. Dude, you're standing there, soaked to the fucking bone.
Wait, I have a question. Why did you even bother locking it if it's so hard to turn on?
Because I used to chuck my tools in the back.
Oh,
so I always had them in the boot.
I was like, no one's gonna figure that out. I was thinking about getting like a kill switch on my truck, where like only I would know how to start the car. But that's a whole other level of
I was like,
and unplanned engineering.
It was such a shit car. And then I was on site one day, and we all park in this field because we were building these two big houses. And you park in this field. And when I parked there in the morning, nothing. There was nothing around. Fair enough. Got back in my car towards about midday. Didn't pay any fucking attention to what was about around. I stuck in reverse and went to wheel spin it. I've reversed back straight into a 13-ton excavator, right? But I've done it, so it's there like that, and I've just scraped it along the side and managed to stop just before it got to my wing mirror. And I remember going, shit. Oh, well, at least I've still got a wing mirror. And off I drove. The whole side of it was just all crumpled in and absolutely fucked. Got 500 quid for it when I sold it.
Oh, my God.
Nice. You made a profit. You got it for free?
I did. Some salesman.
Well, he sold me a shit seat at Ibiza, so it didn't. It kind of all worked itself out.
That's karma.
I think I'd learned to drive right when I was 18, and then in the following 5 years, I pretty much had a car every year, just where I was like, I don't like this, I'm going to get this. I don't like, I've fucking blown the head gasket, I've got to get something else. Like, I did not have a great luck with cars. But yeah, that was the best Ford I ever had in my life. Was this fucking janky fucking thing that you had to pull a piece of string to open the door.
It was a Fiesta?
Yep. It was a Ford Fiesta, a 1 litre, right? The fucker would only go 60 miles an hour if you pushed it off a cliff. You could stand in the engine bay with the engine. My phone's bigger than the engine for it. It was ridiculous. You could fill it up on a fiver. Like, it was ridiculous. But
it's funny now because obviously my car's a 1 litre, but it puts out 180 brake horsepower. So it's, that's how times have changed.
Yeah,
I think I'm sitting at 400 something. I gotta double check what horsepower I'm at, but that's a lot.
Nice. You weigh about 3 tons.
Yeah, it's a big boy.
Yeah.
That has the bigger version, the F250, with the 6.7 turbo diesel. Holy shit! He actually put a train horn on it. So we'll just be like sitting at a light, and if someone does something stupid, just like, like scare the shit out of everybody.
Fucking
That's a big truck, but
That's
mine's
brilliant.
not much smaller. It's pretty big.
We've done nearly an hour. We've not even got to the first item yet.
No, yeah.
An
hour on introducing Watto and New This
week.
On
New This Week.
And when you look at New This Week, we really haven't got fuck all.
No.
I was like, man, they're New This Fortnite is like a 30-minute thing, and then now it's like an hour.
An hour. This is honestly, I don't know why people bother listening to us. 14 people have listened to us wrangle on for like
it was his thing. You're screaming with Zach every other day. We don't speak to each other for 2 weeks, so we got a lot of shit to chew over.
Yeah, there's only so much information you can convey in meme through the chat.
Yeah.
So the rest has to be like this. But anyway, enough of this. Behave yourselves. Right. New releases. We have the Solo Maul at 300 quid. What do you guys think?
This thing came out of nowhere. I guess maybe because they just keep fucking announcing Darth Mauls.
Yeah.
That this feels like it wasn't announced that long ago, but I guess it was.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, it's shipping, and now people have it in hand. I'm like, wait, what? It's cool. I think I told Zach, I was like, if I was gonna get a Darth Maul, it'd probably be this one. But I hate Darth Maul.
See, I really like it. So I was thinking about this the other day, and I really, really like it, but I don't like the head sculpt. And I don't know why.
He looks kind of lumpy.
Yeah, he's a bit puffy. But then he looked like that in the film, didn't he? But
yeah. Like he's old.
Yeah.
There's some weird poses.
Makes sense.
Some of the poses, like that sitting down on there, and then the Karate Kid one as well.
Oh, fuck me.
Oh, yeah. We were laughing about that in the chat. We were like, why the fuck did they do this? I was like, they ran out of ideas.
Sometimes I get the impression Hot Toys go, right, you have to take 30 photos. And they're like, well, I've done like 15 and I can't really get much more. And Hot Toys are like Howard Chan's like, no, you take 30 fucking photos.
We sent you the fucking figure. You take the picture.
You do 30. So people are like, fucking can. There you go. Because you look at some, Anakin sucking someone off. There we go. Like some of the photos they picked lately have just been fucking horrendous. Like you scroll through the album, the first 10 are normally pretty good. Then after that, it's just they just give up.
It's like that's the same, but just from like a slightly different angle. Yeah. Or he's got that gun instead of that one. But there's But it looks right. I think it looks decent.
I know it wouldn't be canon, but if I got one of these, I'd probably put the second DX16 head sculpt on. The head sculpt might look better in person, to be fair, but I just don't like it. But I still want the figure. It's crazy. Everything about it looks good.
Is this the one with the Purr's eyes?
Yeah, I think
it's a DX, isn't it? So it should, yeah.
Because I really like the legs. I think the legs are good.
Yeah, the outfit's kind of like a mix between old and new, which I like. It's like it's familiar enough that I'm like, oh yeah, that looks like Darth Maul. Because the Clone Wars one is kind of goofy looking.
I've got a big problem with all the Clone Wars stuff because I just don't think it translates across well.
It doesn't.
In my head, because when you see a picture of Maul in Clone Wars, the cartoon, he looks badass.
Yeah,
but he's very he's very gaunt and he's very skinny, but very kind of sinewy. In the Hot Toys version, it's he doesn't look any different than he really did in Phantom Menace.
Right.
He's pretty much the same with mechanical legs. And I just think I don't know, I can't put my finger on it.
This is just from Solo, isn't it?
Yeah. I think what might be weird is because we're used to seeing this as a hologram, and now it's like it's a live version sitting there. that's probably what's throwing me off.
Yeah, I don't know how they're justifying it being a DX though, because it's only got one head sculpt, doesn't it, for a start?
Yeah, but it comes with
comes with a lot of accessories though. It comes with the stall. Yeah. They've given you a giant fucking base for some reason.
Could be a B-Day.
Maul's B-Day, yeah.
Was he the B-Day for? He's got metal legs.
Yeah, true.
Shit, he's not wrong.
Yeah. No, he's not wrong.
From the waist down.
That's why Maul's so fucked off. He's just dead from the waist down.
Yeah.
He's got nothing really to enjoy. All he can do really is scratch his nose.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
He's jealous of Homelander.
Yeah. Big time. I mean, look, so I've got the DX16 and I've got an extra body. So technically I've got two DX16s. So I can display both sculpts. So I was thinking I could sell the body and the additional gauntlets and stuff I've got to make the second Darth Maul, and then use that money to get this. So I've got a later version of Maul. Because up until recently, I was going to do my own Series 7 Maul, like an animated version. But now the Hot Toys one's coming out, I might as well just wait and try and pick one of them up.
Are you going to get like a Watto's head sculpt from the animated Maul? Or
I've got one.
Oh,
I've got one sitting up. So in that big pack he sent us, there's a couple of Mauls. There's kind of 3 of the animated ones. Then there's one here, actually, where he's got the Sam. Is it Sam Whitworth?
Yeah, the actor.
The guy who voices him. So I don't know if you can see that. But what he's done is put the Maul makeup and spikes on the Whitworth head.
Nice.
So that I'm looking forward to painting. So I've got a lot of Mauls to do, and I think I've got Manny's other DX head as well to do. So
that's right.
I'm looking, and I've got a Savage Press as well. So I was tempted to do like a Clone Wars Maul and a Savage Press, but what you could do is get this and use the legs, because they painted the body, so you could use the legs, change the clothes out, change the head, and you've effectively got an early Clone Wars one. Which could work, but I don't know. Here we go, Manny. I'm so excited to get my repainted sculpt back from me, and I'm looking forward to doing it. I quite like doing it. The thing is, the while that was all I was doing was fucking Mauls. Now I haven't done one for a while. I'm quite looking forward to doing one again. Yeah, and then while we're on Star Wars, we had the Death Trooper as well for 240 quid. Quite like this. I'm not going to lie. I quite like this.
Yeah,
it's a pretty sweet release. It's still different enough that the original ones keep their value.
Yeah,
because I know a lot of people that pisses off a lot of collectors. But it's like, hey, I kind of just want a Death Trooper on my shelf. I don't need the deluxe. The deluxe was almost easier to get than the regular Trooper, at least for me anyway. So this is a cool. I might pick one up. I don't know if I'll do it immediately. There's like other figures I'd rather get. But it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I think for 240, it's not too bad. When you look at the prices of some of the other stuff we're going to talk about, it's not that bad.
No.
So I quite like it, and I don't have enough troopers at the moment. I've got one stormtrooper, and that's it. So I quite like to get a few more.
I've not even got that.
No,
I haven't got any troopers anymore.
Things I can't believe the fucking price of stormtroopers now. I looked to go pick up another one, and I was like, "Fucking hell!" New Hope troopers are stupidly expensive. The Rogue One troopers have got shot up, and then the Remnant troopers. Shit, I don't really like that, to be honest.
What about the Return of the Jedi ones? Are those?
They're not too bad. Last one I saw about
210, 215. Maybe 200.
The ones I saw about 180 to 190. They were sitting around there, which wasn't too bad. But that was without shipping. So by the time you whack shipping on, you're probably about where you were, Pete.
Yeah, 200, 210, which isn't bad. I've got four New Hope troopers.
Bastard. You bought 2 double packs though, didn't you?
No. I cobbled them together. I've got 2 with my. I think I bought them all loose. No, I've got one that was boxed. No, I've got a short one that's got Luke head on it and Han, and then I've got I've got a Space Trooper, and then I've got another. I amassed a lot, and I've got a couple of Sand Troopers, and
yeah, pretty much I have 2 A New Hope troopers, and then all my other troopers, other than my Scarab Trooper, are from A New Hope. So Sand Trooper, TIE Pilot.
Mm-hmm.
What else do I have? I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea what I have. I have so many figures now, like 50 or something.
Look, I don't even know what the fuck I've got.
Yeah, I had to like look over my shoulder. I'm like, I don't even know. It's so fun and like easy to collect, which I think is why the price gets so high.
Yeah, definitely. But, I mean, there's loads because I wanted to get a few, do a couple of like customization bits and pieces on them, but they're just now things back in the day you could pick stuff up relatively cheap. I could take a Dremel to it and not bat an eyelid. Yeah. Now they're pushing the £200 plus mark. I've really got to think about what I want to do and what I don't want to do.
Yeah, like, can I afford to fuck this up? Like, am I comfortable enough in my skill? That's why I don't touch anything. Usually, if I have something I want to do, I'll have Zach do it. But
yeah. See, I was picking those troopers up for about 130 loose.
Yeah.
So they were just no brainers. I was like, I need the Luke and hand disguise and bits and pieces. And but as I say, the New Hope ones, because I think they are fantastic. I mean, the nitpickers will say, "Oh, the helmets aren't right," but to me, they just look stunning. They just got it right.
Yeah.
The proportions are lovely. The shine on them under the lights. It's amazing.
Things that you almost have to get them sooner than later.
Yeah. They always release when I've got no fucking money though.
Yeah. No, dude, 100%. That's fucking every figure, dude.
Yeah. And I think
shit, he got here early. He got here like 2 months early. I think he was supposed to be like the end of November or something.
Yeah, I give up. Whenever I pre-order anything, I'm like, it could be out any time now. I've just learned to live with it.
Because I pre-ordered Cody before the Mandalorian, and that motherfucker's still not out.
Yeah. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. They give you a vague idea when something's going to come out, and then they just fuck with you and go, and now. I think they generally have a look to see what is doing well and what isn't. Everyone loves Star Wars at the moment. Quick, jump all the Star Wars. They're all sitting in the warehouse. Quick, get them out. And then we have stuff like this, which
why
random, very random.
So Venompool, 240 quid. You can pick this up for.
I'm sure there's one guy out there who's like, finally, but I know person that was like, I want to get this.
I don't get it.
They've obviously overproduced Hulk bodies and they needed to use them up.
I mean, do you know this reminds me of the do you know the knockoff Hulks? Pete's gone for a piss again. I tell you, he's got a bladder like a walnut.
The knockoff ones are even bigger than the Hot Toys Hulks.
Yeah, they just
better off getting the knockoff.
Yeah, exactly, and it looks like it's articulated the same kind of way.
It almost just looks like arm and weight.
Yep.
The legs don't move. Maybe you could swivel the ankles, but why would you bother? For the price, this is fucking insane. It's stupid.
What is the price?
240 quid.
Oh man!
So this will cost you as much as a Death Trooper.
You've got to really love Venom or Deadpool or both to want this, haven't you?
Yeah, I don't understand it.
Wait. I think you have the price wrong.
I've got 240 quid off of. Hang on, I'll double check now.
Oh, I keep forgetting you don't have to go to Sideshow. We get called.
Yeah. So Toys Wonderland had this for, I believe it was 240. Let me double check. I'll do it now.
If I want to order this right now, it's 405.
233 quid actually from Toys Wonderland.
Jesus.
But you've got shipping on top of that.
Yeah.
So add another 30 quid on for shipping.
So 405, then I got to pay tax and then shipping.
That's a hell of a difference.
I mean, I could order it from Toys Wonderland. There's nothing stopping me from ordering it from somewhere else. But like, when we talked about on the show, it's like, oh, it's 405.
So the whole body moves. It's like a silicone material.
Really?
I mean, it's still shit. Don't get me wrong. Just because I can move it doesn't make it any better. Yeah,
I guess I'd have to see it. Someone have it in hands because I can't imagine how that works.
I can't imagine being friends with someone who would own this.
I think Manny said he might be interested in picking one.
No, Manny.
I also don't see him spending $400 on it. I think maybe 10 years
down
the road, maybe not 10, but like.
I mean, if Manny was to buy it, he wouldn't get his Maul head back.
You heard it here, Manny.
It'd be no. Sorry, you know what you've done. You're not getting it back.
It's just like one of those. In fact, it might be from the same line, the Punisher War Machine, where it's like, who wanted this?
Yeah. Final Fight.
It's not
the video game.
A horrible looking figure. It's not. It's not a bad figure, but why? Like, I don't understand why this was made. Like, you could have spent time and energy making anything else, to make Cyborg or I mean, probably a licensing thing.
Bespin Han.
Make a figure, Bespin Han. Like, make a figure people actually want. Again, there's probably somebody out there who's fucking stoked, but I don't know who they are.
I mean, it's catch-22, isn't it? Because if they just kept churning out the same old shit, we'd have a go at them for doing that. So it's almost like it's nice that it's something different. But to me, this is something that in my head, it's more something that you would see a statue of, if that makes sense, than you would an articulated figure. Because other than, say, that pose it's doing now, what else?
There is a statue of this guy. He's 40.
I said I could never pick it up.
He's $2,500. So I guess maybe if somebody doesn't want to spend $2,400, they could buy it. I guess.
Yeah.
But that's
I mean, I suppose necessarily just because it's not for us doesn't mean it's for everyone.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good thing to say about it, but that's all the good stuff I have.
I don't think it helps that them venomizing everything lately.
No, it's weird.
I think generally whatever they venomize isn't going to get a great response.
Yeah,
because people are just like, why
venomize Groot? Now, okay, Deadpool's a popular character. Who the fuck asked for a venomized Groot? I want to meet that person.
Do you know what I would quite like? I'd quite like a venomized Venom.
Yeah.
Before we start fucking around with venomized different versions of other stuff.
Yeah, that's what Manny said. He's like, I'd like a movie Venom. That'd be fucking sweet.
Yeah. But
we'll get one for the second film.
Yeah. Probably. I don't know. We bet we won't. We get fucking venomized Han Solo.
That movie on this show. And still not have a figure.
I tell you what they would do to piss people off beyond all belief would go, we've got a new Venom character for you. It's the venomized Bespin Han Solo.
Yeah.
I tell you,
God,
people would fucking march on Hong Kong and burn Hot Toys to the ground.
Would he have stapled parts of the costume onto his body like he's done it here?
Potentially.
Yeah.
So you couldn't even use the clothes and just put another head on.
I can see them doing a venomized Winnie the Pooh as well.
Yeah,
I'm surprised we haven't seen a terrible custom of that, to be honest. Best on venomized. What do you guys think? You don't want to, I think, dude.
Yeah, someone just going mental with some black paint. There you go, done. All right. But then we had Now I'm getting this when I get paid. Dale, lovely Dale, has got one of these pre-ordered that he doesn't want anymore because he's going out of the game. So I'm getting his off him.
Is he setting up everything? Is he?
Pretty much, yeah. And he's got. I mean, if anyone wants some decent customs, go see Dale. He's got some
great
really
Gotham by Gaslight.
Yeah, he's got all sorts. He's got a really nice collection. So this is the Daft Toys Maniac 1/6 scale clown costume set. Now the price on this varies. Some places have it at 100, other places have it up to 125. I'd be happy to pay either. To be fair, it's a really nice set. it's based on some concept art, and I cannot remember the guy who does the.
That was my first question. What is this?
Yeah, there's a. I honestly cannot remember who it was.
Is it?
What?
I'll look it up. I did when I
you froze. Then is it?
When I looked for it, it did. Oh, it does say there. Look, Lee Bermejo.
Oh, it's Bermejo. Yeah,
got it just under the Joker there.
Didn't notice that.
Yeah.
So I watched a review on this, and it all looks so good. Like Daft Toys, I've got their Bane, and they're top notch. Their quality is really good. The only thing now, I'm being super nitpicky, and me being me, when I get it, I'm probably going to repaint the head sculpt. But all in all, I think it looks really good.
Are they recommending a particular body for it? Because I assume it's quite slim.
No, just a standard knockoff body.
Generic, yeah.
But it looks really good. He's got the great big fuck off revolver. He's got that little pocket watch opens up, and it's got a little picture of Harley Quinn in. And,
that's a nice touch.
Yeah, and then either side of the pocket watch, you've got a J one side and a bat symbol the other.
Okay, yeah, it does look really good.
It's really, really well detailed. I think the only thing on the review that was a little bit disappointing was the little flick knife. The blade doesn't retract, but it's still got a little hook so you can hang it on his belt. And I was like, well, you're not going to hang. I know the Joker's meant to be a fucking lunatic, but you're not going to hang a knife off your belt with the blade out and stab yourself in the leg.
No,
just sitting down.
I don't know. He's a sick bastard.
Stabbing yourself in the leg hurts. I managed to do that last Christmas, wrapping some presents.
It's fucking ghetto in Pete's house.
He is
stabbing himself.
There's blood everywhere.
Fucking Wild West.
Yeah. But I mean, look, if that's all I can nitpick on this, then it's a decent set.
Yeah, dude, fucking $15 body if you're feeling, like you just want to get a figure on the shelf.
Yeah,
it's a good deal. $100, that's pretty solid.
I'd love it if they did the Noel Batman to go with it.
Yeah, they really should. That would be a great pairing.
Because I've seen photos of this next to the BVS Batman as well, and they pair up quite nicely. So yeah,
there you go. You got him already.
Dead happy for this at the end of the month. And then Stan Lee, the Ragnarok version, 256 quid.
Dude, the packaging threw me off. I was like, "What am I looking at?"
Exactly what we said just before we came on. Like, I don't understand why. So he's outside the box, but then they give you a box that's then wrapped in a clamshell. And you think, then that'd be in like a big fuck off shipper box.
Didn't they do something similar for that?
They with the
Guardians 2.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. But wasn't Stanley inside the box, inside the clamshell though?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas the box is next to him. He's in the clamshell. I mean, if I bought this and I sold it on, I'd have a fucking nightmare trying to package it. I'd be like, how the fuck do I do this so it doesn't get damaged?
And then the bit where he's got the hand with the blade almost looks like it's sticking out further as well. There's a little bit.
Yeah, it does.
Weird.
Yeah.
So, wow, you just blew my mind. I didn't realize that was the box.
Yeah,
I thought it was like a cover of like all the accessories.
No, that's the box.
That's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. They just seem to only do it for Stan Lee.
Well, you can see where they're going to go with this, can't you? They're going to do all of his cameos in this style, so they all become ultra collectible in their blister pack style packaging, and everyone will want to collect them all.
You see, I think we said a while ago that they should do different versions of Stan Lee, or someone should just release. If they just release the head sculpts, you could have so much fun with it, putting it on lots of different stuff.
Yeah.
But
they're going to do it. You can see it coming.
Yeah.
They're just going to keep making more.
I think because we're not getting a Marvel film now till like next year, they're going to have to try and milk Marvel for all it's worth until they can start pumping more out.
Yeah.
Because I think Stan Lee is probably a really good way to do that, because if you think about all these cameos, not a lot of effort really has to go in them. This is probably one of the most complicated ones.
Do you know the one I want?
Right.
I want the Tony Stank.
The one I want is the Hugh Hefner one. You know, he's on the red carpet and Tony mistakes him as Hugh. That's what. If they did that, I would buy that in a heartbeat.
I want the UPS Tony Stank one. I'd get that in a heartbeat. That'd be
a really cool accessory, like a box that says Tony Stank on it.
I mean, I like, because my boy, he's into Teen Titans, and he even pops up in the Teen Titans Goes to the Movies, and someone tells him, you know, this is a DC film, and he goes, oh crap, and runs off. And then later on, he comes back and says, I don't care, a cameo's a cameo. Getting brilliant. Really good. So, yeah. I mean, as a figure, it's not bad. It's all right.
It's just a weird, a bit of a weird one. And you got to have it with the Ragnarok characters, really.
Yeah, to be fair, if you've got like a massive Marvel collection, the Stan Lee stuff will probably fit in really well.
Yeah.
But if you've just got a few figures like me, it would just look weird.
Why do you prioritise that over, you know? Yeah, why do you prefer Old Men over other stuff? I'd be like, well, Scarlet Witch,
just a pervert. And then, so upcoming releases now. So this is the teasing section. So Sideshow Myers, 190 quid out April 2021 to June 2021. I quite like the look of this, but
it's a great looking set.
Yeah, fool me once, Sideshow. Fool me twice. Like, is it going to look like this though?
It can't look as bad as that Tots one.
I didn't put it on the show sheet, but I said before we come on, like we're going to have words about that Tots one. I saw a couple of photos. I saw the first lot that came out where they literally shone the brightest light known to man directly in its eyes, and I was like, give it the benefit of the doubt. Like, if you shine something that bright at a figure, no matter what it is, it's going to look fucking awful.
Yeah, you could take the best head sculpt ever and blast it with light. It's going to look like ass.
Yeah. I mean, one of my pet peeves is when I paint something for someone and I set it up in my light box. And don't get me wrong, I don't spend ages on the lighting because that's not fair on people. But I put a decent light over the top of it and I take some photos and send it off to them, right? And then you'll see them then post it in the groups. But what they've done is turned every light on in their house, strapped torches to the sides of their heads.
Turn the flash on.
Yep, literally turn the flash on and burn the retinas out of it. So it shows up every single imperfection, flaw in the sculpt, anything. Yeah. It's like it washes all the detail out of it. It looks all one solid color. And I think genuinely think that's what happened, because I saw some other photos and they weren't exactly, don't get me wrong, it wasn't like studio lighting. It just seemed like someone who could actually use a camera had taken a photo of it. And it didn't look as bad. There were still bits that I thought, that's a bit naughty, but it wasn't anywhere near as bad as the first lot.
The sculpt's not as good as this.
No.
100% expecting the same shit to happen with this figure.
Yeah.
Sideshow knows how to make a prototype. And that's it.
Yeah.
Well, you could always put the sheet over and have the look that's in the little box there.
Yeah, that'd be easy to get that one right.
But the misconception with that is that Sideshow were just doing that for this Halloween figure. They've actually learned, and from now on, all Sideshow releases are going to come with a little red sheet. So when they don't live up to the expectation, you just
cover it up with that.
You just cover that up and go, there you go.
So I think that's a sheet attached to the head sculptures, and you just swap the head out, and it's all attached to it, I believe.
I think so.
Yeah, it's just swap out head sculpt with fabric sheet and glasses.
I mean,
go back to that lighter thing, Ian. That reminds me, like when I got that BVS Batman, the one that you own now, I did that, didn't I? Because some people were putting some really arse pictures of it, and it looked awful. Yeah, and I kind of did that, so I took a picture in proper lighting. It looked amazing, and then took one in a really shitty pose with a full-on flash, and it looked like a 20 quid figure. It looked absolutely shit. You know, and it is amazing how, as I say, you don't have to have perfect studio lighting, but these things aren't meant to be looked at in, you know, with a flash. It doesn't. I mean, natural daylight, fine, but not a camera flash right in their face.
A lot of the time, it's all about the angle of the dangle. So if you light it from above, which is where your display case lighting should be if you're a normal fucking human being, it's fine because that casts shadow and things like that, which you want. You don't want to not have that. No. But when you get people who just get the biggest light known to man, effectively go outside and hold the figure in front of their headlights and fucking flash full beam at it and go, that looks shit. Well, you fucking need to be shot because that's not how you shouldn't be behaving like that. But and I think that the Trick or Treat Studio suffered from a bit of that. But this, it's Sideshow, so they've got form for it. We know that this isn't going to look like this.
Yeah.
No. I watched the movie that you guys watched, Dean, the 2018.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's really awesome. Good actually. Yeah, because it's on Netflix, and I thought you guys would have watched it. No, it was really good. I thought it was really good. Yeah.
One of my favourite bits of that film is when the daughter's in the basement and she's screaming, and you think, oh, she's fucking lost it. And Michael Myers goes to come down the stairs, and she goes, nope, fuck you, bang. And I thought,
that was dope.
Did not expect that. I thought she'd proper just fucked her mum off and gone, no, fuck you. I'm not paying any attention to any of your ways. But she's a proper little badass down
there. Yeah.
So
that was good, and then that's got that sequel coming, isn't it?
Yeah, I like that line. It's not a cage. It's a
tomb.
It's a trap. Yeah, and then those bars go across. It's brilliant.
Dude, the savage bit was when he fucking blew his hand off. And he's just got stubby tooth. I was like, fuck off. Fucking brilliant film. So that was Myers. And then we've got this.
He just went up.
Just went up. 190 quid.
Yeah, 245 over here.
I saw it on the CW page and I thought, right, we'll have that. We'll have a scoop on that one.
What was the release date on it though?
It hasn't got one at the moment because it's not actually, I think it should have when it goes for pre-order. It's got a price, $245.
But Dean, you just said it's just gone up for pre-order, hasn't it?
Oh, has it got a date yet?
I don't think so. Let me look.
No.
I have Sideshow open right now.
I mean, overall, I quite like it. I just think the body looks trash.
Yeah, we can't really see it, but the arms are awful.
It says May to July 2021.
Right.
May to July.
So who knows? It could be January.
So about the same time then as Myers.
Yeah,
not far off.
It could be January 2022 or even January 2021.
It's like they might as well just put any time.
Yeah, just you'll get it.
Yeah, you'll get it eventually. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I don't really know anything about this character.
It does look good. I say the body is going to need swapping because the arms are awful and they've got these veins on them and they just look really plasticky. I think the outfit looks good and the masks. I don't actually remember the old lady one on the right, but
I don't wear belts. Every time I see someone with a suit on, they're not wearing a belt. I think John.
You had this conversation about Bond, didn't you?
Yeah, John Wick's got a belt. I just checked, but goddamn, people wear belts.
He'd have made one from human intestines if he was going to have one.
I mean, if you're going to put on a suit, find something. A human intestine that works.
Have you all watched the original film?
A while ago.
It's been a long time. I think I've
creepy as hell. It is quite disturbing, and I think it's the classic mask in the middle there. That looks really good. So I don't remember the other one. Apparently, that he wears that one when they all sit around the table.
Yeah, I don't remember that at all. This is from the original film, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't remember that look.
I believe Manny went to the actual house.
Oh wow.
If you're still in the chat, let us know. I could have sworn he showed me pictures. It's terrifying.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the sculpt on the left, the more classic one. The weird, the one I'm going to call the derp one.
It doesn't. I mean, I don't know whether it's accurate to the film because I don't remember it, but it looks a bit rubbish.
It's probably in one scene, wasn't it, or something?
Yeah,
probably. Museum security guard Stan.
Oh yeah.
When they take the Captain America suit and he's like, "I'm gonna get fired."
Yeah.
So yeah,
here we go. Yeah, Manny. Yeah, I had a bunch there. Check out my Instagram. What is your Instagram again, Manny? Yeah. Let us know and we'll give it a shout.
Yeah. No, I like the cat. I had the original McFarlane one of these long time ago.
Ooh. Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, is it? Wow.
Yeah. Had brunch at the Texas Chainsaw Massacre house. Oh yeah, like there it is in front of the
yeah. Yeah, DJ Manny SA. Give it a go on Instagram. Yeah, I mean, on the left-hand photo, you could almost get away with leaving the body on, like not swapping it out.
Yeah, if you've got the jacket on.
Yeah, if you were going to have it with the jacket off with the apron, no chance.
It's weird because I don't remember that apron. He should really have there's a leather sort of looking apron that he wore with this. But when you first see him come out of that kind of metal door,
yeah,
too.
I don't. I mean
that's what makes me think it's from the dinner scene.
Oh,
if he's got this
one on the right apparently is the dinner scene. So
yeah, so that apron he must be wearing it then,
correct?
Because it's more like a penny to go with the mask.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like he's got the apron to go with the standard suit. But yeah, he's obviously got some very substantial fat suit on in there as well.
I mean, to be fair though, we're talking about swapping the body out. The older Sideshow one, if you can get hold of that, swap the body out and give it a repaint and a weather, they look really good.
Yeah.
So you could spend 200 and what did I say? It was 250.
190
190
yeah,
quid.
190
so you spend 190 quid on this, or you're looking at 50, 60 quid for the original Sideshow one.
Yeah.
Plus another 20 quid for a body. Have a go. And the thing is with shit like this, it really doesn't have to be that detailed because of what it is. You can literally go mental with the weathering powders and the blood and it still look all right.
Right.
So you could save yourself.
Well, he stitched that thing together from people's bits of flesh, so it's gonna,
So you don't have to be too accurate when
you can get away with
kind of thing.
Look, yeah.
So
because there was a third party one I think came out a few years ago, which looked really good as well. Yeah,
I had one
3-0.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
yeah, it was.
That one was pretty good.
Yeah. But, so that was that one.
Yep.
And then we had Cara Dune. This was previewed. I really like this. I think from some angles it looks spot on, and others it's still there. I can still see the likeness, but it's a bit off.
Yeah, so this it does look really good.
Statue, quarter scale.
Yeah, I really want a 6 scale.
Right, they'll definitely do a 6 scale. Yeah.
Season 2, there'll be a load more, won't there?
We're going to get a lot of figures from season 2, I think.
Yeah.
We'll finally
including more troopers.
Well, they know they know how bloody popular it is now, so they can really milk it, can't they? I mean, it's been a lot of figures already.
They don't have anything else to milk.
No,
no.
There really isn't anything.
They got a fuck ton of clones or a bunch of shit from Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And you can tell that they've really hit the bottom of the barrel with nothing else to release because they've gone into the Clone Wars. Like if you go back a few years ago, they wouldn't touch that with a barge pole.
Nope.
No.
But now, and I think when you look at, cool.
So they've still got plenty of original trilogies to go out as well, though.
Yeah, it's almost got. Yeah,
I think when you look at those, though, you've got Han Solo. So I think there's some kind of licensing problem there. There has to be.
I think so. Yeah.
Obi-Wan as well. There must be some licensing issue there. Otherwise, why would you do Anakin and not Obi-Wan?
Yeah.
So I think all the characters we want, there must be some kind of licensing problem.
It's got to be something along with Han, definitely.
Yeah, because otherwise we would have had it by now. Like there's no, I can't see any reason why they wouldn't.
It's been sneak peeks in the other figures, isn't there?
Especially
in the background.
An Obi-Wan show coming out. You think that they would have the licensing for that? So, or at least getting ready to, which would include making the figure.
But that might be why they haven't got that might be causing issues with the episode 3. But then if they've all got the license and they're just going to recycle the sculpts, then surely
right,
they wouldn't have to because they've already made it.
Maybe they're like, since they have hit the bottom of the barrel, they're like, fuck it, we're gonna release that in 2 years instead of back to back. That way we have releases scheduled.
Yeah, true.
Unless they could be waiting for Mandalorian season 2 to drop, and then they're going to hit us with a load more figures.
Yeah,
you don't
maybe
know. Waiting for the hype to build.
Yeah, we need a Rogue One. What's his face? Tarkin, so we can get one at a decent price.
Dude, I want to. That's the only figure.
Because it will look exactly the same as the New Hope one. But I'm not paying 300, 350 for that.
I was so close to selling my Rocco Tarkin, and I was like, I literally got it out, went, the fuck are you doing, you idiot, and put it straight back again. I was like, nope. See, I can't get the Rocco sets from fucking anywhere. My only other alternative is to get a Hot Toys one, and that's fucking through the roof. So I was like, nope, that stays.
They're definitely going to do Jedi Vader at some point as well with the unmasked sculpts, full Monty.
Yeah, that if that's not a DX, then I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what the fuck's wrong with the world. Because they've got the bits, they've just got to scale them down.
Exactly.
So, and then there's this.
Here we go.
The present toys Indiana Jones. This will set you back £100, and it's at Q1, Q2 2021. Go forth. Yeah, 2 sculpts.
That's pretty good.
I'm tempted for £100.
The jacket does look a bit on the cheap side, but the rest of it, you're getting a lot for your money, I suppose.
Yeah, his face looks a little weird.
I think it's the paint app on that.
Yeah, depends how. I mean, obviously, we're pretty certain that they're Inigo recasts, and again, like we chatted a bit before the start of the show. I don't think we need to go into the whole who's right, who's wrong. You know, there's a lot. It's all unlicensed.
I want an Indiana Jones. You guys make such beautiful figures. Like when you piece them together, that you've made me want an Indiana Jones. But it's almost so unattainable that like I didn't think about it. And then this came along.
That's exactly what we were saying, isn't it? You've either got to pay, I don't know, £400 or £500 for a DX05 now, and half of it will have disintegrated.
Right.
Or you go full custom and you can spend, whatever you want to spend, 6, 7, 8, 9,000, £1,000. But this is not for that market. This is for those people that want to get an indie and they don't want to spend a fortune. Yeah. And it's decent. It looks decent enough. I mean, until we see it in hand, and it's difficult to judge. But
you could also run into the risk of there's so many people that want an indie that don't want to pay that this is going to skyrocket in price. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
so if it sells out,
this will definitely sell out.
So I want to get one of these to see what I can do with it. Because I'm looking at it now, and I think, Steve, you're bang on. I think the jacket looks a bit cheap. It looks thin and cardboardy. So I think there's some work to be done there, because you can tell by the way it's opened at the front.
Yeah.
The shirt looks okay, although the collar is fairly big. Yeah. I mean, he'd fit in at a disco. Trousers look weird. I can't put my finger on it, but they just look weird. But the accessories,
they might need dyeing a bit dark.
Yeah, they're a bit too light. I mean, the accessories look good. The holster looks good. The whip looks fine. The stand I quite like. I like the oval stands. I don't see why. I don't really know why Hot Toys moved away from them, because the other stands take up too much space on shelves. The scopes I think are definitely in the goes. I think they've done something with the ears. Those ears are massive.
Yeah. The hat is a Hot Toys, because we were debating this, but if you zoom in on it, the Hot Toys fedora always had this little nick right in the middle of the brim, and every single one had it, because people used to say to me, "Oh, is that a nick in the brim?" If I was selling a hat, and I said, "Well, yeah, that was in the mold."
Yeah,
so that's on that, so you can see that. I don't know that. I think it might have a plastic band on it though, rather than a material one.
Now, if I were to get this figure, and it could not be from the right movie, but I would probably ditch the jacket just because it doesn't look that great. And do the scene where he just shoots the guy with the sword.
Yeah, Streets of Cairo, we call that. Yeah,
look. Yeah,
so that looks really good with the smiling sculpt.
Yeah. Even though he's just kind of like, oh, dude, for real.
You need to be able to roll the sleeves up, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem. You might just have to snip a bit of the sleeve.
Yeah.
I think that shirt could be futzed. I think it's probably if you pulled that in at the back a bit and even just put a paper clip or something in it. Not a paper clip, but a safety pin. A lot of my stuff, I've got safety pins just to pull the clothing in. You never see it because it's either covered up or it's on the back, but it makes such a difference. What
you can do with the jacket as well is if you see just between his arm and the jacket, you've got these little buckles that pull in tight.
Yeah.
So you can pull those in really tight and that pulls that front of the jacket in. But what you can do is undo that and put a line of glue in between and then do it back up and pull it in. And as the jacket closes in on itself like that, it glues. And then that keeps that whole jacket a lot tighter and open a bit more. So that's a possibility, if the jacket turns out like that. But my only concern when it comes to them, any company just grabbing custom artist stuff and ripping it off and putting it back out there is right. So no one, like we said, no one has the moral high ground.
No,
because of the whole licensing thing. But what I worry about sometimes is we've said it before that people like Inigo, Sean Dabbs, Rocco, they all do work for studios and companies.
Yeah.
If this keeps happening, if I was them, I'd be like, well, fuck it. I'll just deal with studios from now on. I won't make these heads. I won't do this anymore. And we won't get these awesome custom pieces anymore. They just won't bother. So that's one thing that concerns me. I mean, and we think this is like quite a hot topic in 1/6 scale. Since joining a lot of the printer groups, fuck me. The arguments you see where people are saying, if I buy a file, can I sell the prints? And then you literally sit back for the next couple of hours and just watch the comments roll in, where some people are going, well, yeah, it's fucking your file, you're printing it, you're painting it, you do what the fuck you like. Yeah. Other people are very much like, no, you're a fucking thief. You shouldn't do that. Because you get licenses that come with the file when you buy it. But yeah, that's a whole different ball game. Like, where we're talking about like companies reproducing other people's sculpts and stuff. In those printing communities, it's so much worse. Like they really, really don't like it when people buy a file, print it, paint it, sell it on. They hate it. And I'm sitting there thinking, but I don't get it. I don't understand why you couldn't do that. And it's mad.
Yeah, no, I'll be interested if you guys do pick this up. Be very interested. I mean, this is the entry level, and it'd be a good base. I think you could depending on how decent some of the stuff is, and like we thought that Iris was the pinnacle of 1/6 stuff, but there's now threads on one of the custom. I forgot what it's called. 6 scale customs, I think. And there's a guy doing a movie accurate jacket out of real leather, and it's $700 just for the jacket. And the amount of people that are jumping on it, and I think, I mean, I've spent a lot of money on indie, but even then, and then he's talking about doing a full outfit. This is going to be like $1,500, and you think, like, how much do people want to spend on one character?
I don't spend that on my clothes.
No. I haven't spent that on my clothes in like the last 10 years combined. I'm wearing 20-year-old t-shirts.
Yeah. I've spent horrendous amounts of money on 1/6 scale clothes. Not that kind of money, but still more than that.
But it just goes to show that there's always another level. And what annoys me, there's people on some of these threads, like not this one, but there's a Han Solo Bespin one by Yunsil, and she's just finished it. And there's people on there that have haggled the fuck out of me when I've been selling indie stuff. Oh, can you knock £5? I can't afford it. And then they're dropping $400, $500, $600 on a clothing set.
Because that's why they can't afford it.
Well, no, they're just taking the piss.
Yeah, I remember before Anakin was a figure, and people, especially Zach, was building an Anakin figure.
Yeah.
How stupid, crazy expensive it got. And then eventually, I decided not to build one because I was like, I'm not spending that much. No. Obviously, Hot Toys then makes the figure. It's better than I think anything Zach ever put together. No offense to Zach, but the stuff that was around, right?
Yeah.
And this figure, is it a $1,500 outfit? Probably not. But the $1,500 outfit's probably not a $1,500 outfit itself. So it's like if you just wait long enough, someone's gonna make the figure. If the market's there.
Yeah.
Because I remember doing an Anakin as well. Like I got Inigo did a sculpt. I got that. I got hold of the Sideshow Anakin, ripped it to bits, sewed bits up, did all fucking kinds of stuff to it. And then Hot Toys announced theirs, and it was like, fucking out the window you go. Because it wasn't. I don't think the sculpt was probably his best work. It wasn't the best. It was a bit too thin, so he kind of looked a bit like I can't remember the Jedi Master, the one with the long neck and the tiny little head.
Oh yeah.
So as soon as the Hot Toys one, I was like, get rid of that. Don't want that anymore.
No, I think the final word on this one is amazing. It's taken so long, really.
That's true.
There's been a big gap for a long time.
Yeah.
I hope it's half decent. Now.
You know, I think it's like
4 scopes.
From Inigo, he's in 4 sculpts, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. Yeah.
Plus the other ones. I mean, you got who else
Jinx.
did it? Jinx. Yeah,
Jinx did one.
Yeah. MJ.
I think everyone's had a stab at it. To be fair.
I think a lot of the snooty high-end collectors want this to be rubbish, but I don't care. I want this to be good. I hope it's good. You know,
if I'm honest, I think we got one extreme and the other at the moment. We've got, because don't even count the Hot Toys or the old Sideshow one now, because the Hot Toy one's fallen apart.
Yeah,
and the scope is like Indiana Jones's fucking brother. So really, if you're buying that, you're buying a couple of accessories, a body.
There's not a lot left worth having. No,
there really isn't. The Sideshow ones, the jacket's quite nice. If you weather that up, that's quite a nice jacket. And it's a weird pleather that just keeps going on and on and on. The holster's shit. The shirt's not amazing. It's passable, and the trousers are okay.
Yeah,
boots on both are generally quite good, but you've kind of got this at one end, the Hot Toys and the Sideshow one kind of creeping up there a little bit, and then the custom stuff right at the other end. Like if Hot Toys re-released an Indiana Jones figure now, I think you'd see a lot of people going for this, go for the Hot Toys one. And I think you'd see a lot of the people who are venturing into the high-end stuff because there is no other option. Go, actually, I'm not going to spend fucking like $1,500. I'm going to go spend £300 on that.
Yeah, then
that will be perfectly fine. So that was indie, and then they also had Truman from the Truman Show. This is also £100, and this is at exactly the same time, Q1, Q2, 2021. Apparently, this is also someone else's sculpt that they've put on. I like the sculpts on the left. Really dislike the one in the middle where he's having a stroke. The rest of it is fine. Like this doesn't, as a figure, doesn't offend me. I'm not the biggest fan of the Truman Show.
No,
I can't believe there's a market for this figure.
Like, I know. I was thinking
no. It just seems weird.
He's
even at this price point.
Yeah, like he's just a guy. Like
he's a bit like you. I can imagine you putting him next to Forrest Gump, but you know.
Yeah, but I mean, even at that, Forrest Gump is so iconic.
Yeah.
Truman Show, honestly, it'd be like if they made a Liar figure. It's like, yeah, it's a good movie, but like, why? Like,
yes, man.
It's so weird, but it's inoffensive. It's not like it's so not on my radar that like I'm just like, okay, I guess.
Yeah.
It's just weird. Like they could have made Ace Ventura. You know what I mean? Like, that's a much more like interesting character than fucking. I don't even know his name. I mean, Truman, is that his first name? His last name? I don't even know.
His first name.
Is it his first name?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Truman Burbank, isn't it?
Could be.
Oh, I mean, yeah. See, like I don't. Half of us don't even know. So
no,
it's just so weird. It is what it is.
Yeah, he's called Truman Burbank. That's his first name.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's doesn't offend me. Then we have Django at 230 quid. Now it's 230 quid if you order it through Sideshow. 270 quid if you go through Toys Wonderland, and it's at Q1, Q2 2022. I quite like it. I'm probably not going to upgrade the Django I've got for it because I don't believe it's that much of a step up. Particularly if I body swap mine, I've repainted. I can do a few other bits to it. I'm quite happy with it. Plus, it's 2 years out. Like
really, wow.
Yeah, everything now is 2 years, and I just think.
Crazy.
I mean, I've noticed a lot more of the Sideshow ones hitting the groups for about 160 to 180.
Yeah, a few have gone up recently.
Yeah, and a few people have put. I think the best one I saw was Mark Jolly had put it up for a decent price, and he put on the description, "I'm not selling it because of the new one. I know there's a new one out. It's 2 years' time, so we don't have to really mention that in the comments. Away you go." I thought it was brilliant because the last couple I'd seen, people had felt like they had to point out, Hot Toys are releasing one. So what the fuck do you want people to do with them? Just go burn them in the garden? Like, I don't...
Yeah, because there's people like you who can take a relatively plain figure and do really great things with them. So it's like, they still have value to someone.
Yeah. And
if it's not you, just shut your mouth and move on.
Yeah. And as well, what's the alternative for 2 years?
Right.
Like nothing.
One, I guess.
No.
Yeah. So I don't get it. I think this is great. I like the effects. I think they're actually cool, and I normally don't like effects. I actually think the Sideshow head sculpt's better than this.
Really?
Because, well, to me,
I've never seen that in person.
To me, that's too old.
Yeah.
That's Cody.
Oh. You know what? I think you're onto something.
When you look at him in episode 2, he's a lot thinner. He looks different than he does when he pops back up as clones in episode 3. In episode 3, he's a bit more of a fuller face, and I get that they're going to be using the same sculpt because why wouldn't you? It's a fucking clone. I get that.
Yeah,
but he looks a bit thinner in episode 2. He looks a bit more fuller faced here. And when you look at the Sideshow one, I just think I think for once Sideshow actually did a decent human sculpt. And I think when you're looking at Django, that sculpt looks better. To me, I look at that and I see Cody, I don't see Django, if that makes sense. And I know it sounds a bit like insane ramblings, but it just...
I get it. I'm right there with you.
Yeah. I think if you go back and watch it...
It's like, oh, weird.
Yeah, like if you go back and look at episode 2, and you look at particularly the scene where he hasn't got the armor on and he's coming out of the like washroom.
1 second, guys, I'll be back.
No worries. He's just thinner. He's just got a thinner face than that. But then when in episode 3 you see him as Cody and the other clones, he's a bit more fuller faced because it was a few years after. But it's not. If I didn't have a Django, I'd just pre-order it. But I think if you've got one, it's probably not worth the upgrade.
Dude, for me, it's $285, not including tax and shipping. So that's already. I mean, Cody was $243. I mean, yeah, this has a lot of accessories, but like, that's over $300. That's a hard pill to swallow.
That's a lot of money.
So I'm probably thinking like I'm not gonna get this. I'd like it, but I mean, fuck, I don't have episode 2 figures. I have clones, but they're like, Phase 2 clones. I think almost all my clones are Phase 2 clones. Also, Jango Fett's dead before you even see clones. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Or like the Phase 1 troopers anyway. You see them, but they're learning. But I guess I'm just gonna have to live without this figure. I mean, unless I get a good deal on it, but there's no way I'm paying over $300 for Jango.
So does anyone know how that? Because you only get the one head sculpt. Where's the split to put the flight kind of?
No, that's actually like a rubber bit that goes over.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just assumed it would be kind of like the Alex Murphy helmet. It would just be like 2 parts or something that just click
and
around.
then you just have to hope that it doesn't take the paint off the sculpt with it. I mean, if it's
Mm.
soft rubber, it's got less chance, but we know what Hot Toy stuff's like.
Yeah, it does tend to rub a bit. I mean, I like the way the helmet, they just take the top section off to get the bit with the dent in. But then again, I could probably live without the dent if I'm honest. Because up until I saw it on this, I was like,
it's got a swappable dome, is it?
Because up until I was like, does Jango have a dent? Like, did he get dent?
Apparently, the movie prop did not, but the 3D render did for some reason.
Right.
That's what somebody said.
Because obviously this is also Boba Fett's helmet, isn't it? He repaints it, which is why the dent's there.
But that's a completely different dent.
Yeah, I mean that's what I kind of
thought.
thought.
Like right here on the forehead. That one's way up here. I don't know, man.
No, it's confused the shit out of me. But you know, if I found one in the street, I wouldn't say no to it. I quite like it.
Yeah.
But I just at the moment it's just I don't see the point in, at least for 2 years, like selling mine to then sit there without one for 2 years to then get this. It's probably something that in 2 years' time I might decide I do, but at the moment,
I'm with you there. I think it's people think that they need to sell now to get more money for it, but I don't think they will, because people, and as you say, it leaves a big hole in your display for 2 years.
I mean, don't get me wrong, like the Sideshow one has its issues, like the stupid way they did the armor.
Yeah, it's so bad.
It's just horseshit. But if I'm honest, I mean, I could probably break the armor off and just body swap it and re-glue it, or fit Velcro or something like it. I could fit magnets and magnetize it. It wouldn't be that hard to do.
They go into the
well, it does on the knees. So the knees have pegs, but what I've done is on mine, I've snapped the pegs off, and I've actually glued the sides to the clothing, so they just move independently with the clothing. And then what you have is on the clothing, you've got a big cutout on the shins that the shin pads go through the clothing and then clip round the actual boot. So the boot's two-part. You get a bit that is similar to if you've ever stripped down a BVS Batman, so the armored version. So you'll have the cup that the foot goes in, that then goes through this cup into the foot, and then the shin then cups round the cup that the foot goes in. So it's a real convoluted, fucking stupid design, and they keep pinging off. The rest of it's on Velcro. So the top thigh bits are all Velcro. The backpack and shit is all on those horrible clips that they keep doing. So I've just magnetized all of that. And the rest of it's not too bad. It's just it needs a body swap.
Yeah, I think the jumpsuit for that figure is really nice.
Yeah, yeah. Because I think people have started trying to track him down to use it for a Mando.
Yeah.
But so there's bits of it that aren't a bad figure, and the pleather on it lasts forever. I think the only other thing that's a bit shit on the Sideshow one that needs sorting out, what I wouldn't mind doing is getting the gauntlets for this, purely because Sideshow used rubber tubes that snap, whereas they've done on this, and I think Boba Fett, they've just used material, so it moves about and it doesn't snap off. But then again, he's got the same gauntlets as Boba Fett, so if I ever just bought a pair of Boba Fett gauntlets, I'd just paint them silver. job done. So yeah, not the worst thing I've ever seen, but not the best. Yeah, so this was. So yeah, we were talking about this a little bit before we came on. So 3-0 have announced the Marvel DLX line. Now I assumed these were the big fuck off Transformers, but as Steve pointed out, they're the little smaller ones, aren't they?
Yeah. So I don't know what size they'll be, because the Transformers were Optimus is 11.5 inches in a DLX. So and obviously that's a giant robot.
Yeah.
So what's a normal figure going to be?
Yeah, I just can't figure out what they're going to do. Are we going to get a load of Iron Men? Are we going to get a load of like metal, like Ultron shit like that? Or
is it going to be?
Yeah. So and 3-0 really hit and miss. Some stuff of theirs is really good. Other stuff is not so good.
It's difficult to say, difficult to call. Don't know what scale it's going to be. I'm inclined to say either 1/8 or 1/10, something like that.
Yeah, I haven't got a fucking Scooby.
No.
I'm not sure about that at all.
Could even be 1/12, because that's quite popular at the moment.
Yeah. I'd say 1/12's coming along. Like when I first started collecting, 1/12 was pretty much like Black Series and stuff like that, and it was all just, I thought it was just shit. But even Black Series have come on leaps and bounds.
Yeah.
Like, and when you look at like Mezco and stuff like that, some of that's looking really good.
Yeah, I got the 1/12 Ghostbusters, and they're brilliant. I think they're better than the Blitzway ones.
I don't think anyone's doing MCU stuff in 1/12, so this could be that could be what this is.
I suppose apart from Marvel Legends, isn't it? That's like comic book stuff.
Yeah,
not the movies. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, it's strictly MCU. I don't think anyone's done high end 1/12 stuff. So I've got a sneaking suspicion that's what this is going to be. But we shall see.
Yeah. It's a bit of a mystery for now, but
it'd be interesting to see what they actually do. So
here we go.
This we spoke about I think last week, and I think about a day after we spoke about it, it looks like according to the comments section, they are going to start doing full figures of Homelander and Billy. If they do, I'll just jizz in my pants like a little girl.
Absolutely. Well, they've said it in black and white, haven't they? So I will definitely be pre-ordering both of them.
Oh, I will. I think these would be excellent figures to get. Because like we're going to talk about it in a minute, but The Boys has probably been one of the best things on telly in such a long time.
Yeah,
that I'm loving it.
Yeah,
absolutely loving it.
Hilarious. Yeah,
big time. So that leads us on quite nicely.
Yep.
To The Boys. I think most of us now have finally seen all of Series 2.
Yep.
I can't believe it took me so long just to watch the first series. As soon as I did, I jumped straight into Series 2.
I think I'm going to rewatch them all, you know.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to as well.
So good.
Definitely.
Before I forget, though, and I did a bit of Googling because I found out that the Boys is actually based on a comic strip from I didn't know any of this, but did you catch the name of the guy in, I think it's episode 7 with the there's no other way to say this, but the monster cock?
Yeah.
Did you see what his name is in the credits?
No.
It's Love Sausage.
Oh yeah, because I think Mother's Milk is like, dude's got to love sausage.
Yeah, he does, and that's his name, and that's his name in the comics as well.
There's so many good little bits.
He goes around the guy's neck, and I'm sitting there watching my mate, and I'm going, "It can't be
what I think.
Is that what I think? It can't be.
Exactly what it is."
And they're like, "Oh," and it's the guy when he sees it go back up the leg, he's like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah. Well, apparently in the comic, it's a foot long, soft, and then it's obviously does what it does.
Yeah, I think there's so many nice little touches in that. I like so
the whole
there's
thing.
A bit where you see Stormfront and she's been to Starbucks and she's got a Starbucks cup, and on the cup it doesn't say Stormfront, it says Storefront. It's just little bits like that. Oh, it's fucking brilliant. There's so many little bits in it that just are fantastic. And I think someone put a post up the other day saying, going back and watching, I think it was Endgame. Do you know the scene where you get all the women, all the Marvel women walking towards the screen? We got this, and they went, since watching The Boys, this looks more and more like something that Vought would do. And I was like, yeah, you kind of missed the point, because that's exactly what it's meant to be.
Yeah.
But it's such a good series. I mean, I'd proper run out of stuff really to watch, and I don't know why it took me so long to watch the first series. But I dived straight into the second and loved it. It was just so good. I like gory shit, so that was fantastic.
So much the scene with the whale.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's just the way he crawls inside it, and he's just sitting there.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. That scene with Kimiko as well, when she goes busts into that. Is it a cafe or something like that, and rips the guy's face off? And,
yes,
God.
yeah.
It's just horrendous. It's proper graphic as well, isn't it? It's
really
nothing less than imagination.
No, it's brilliant. Just like Homelander just leaning on someone's head, and it just kind of like just obliterates.
Yeah.
And he smacks that guy on the ears as well and makes him deaf. Oh god.
Yeah, the blind superhero. He's just like, the fuck are you doing?
Dude, I saw that coming from 100 miles away, and I still wasn't prepared for it. I was like, Homelander is pretending to like this guy.
Yeah.
And he's like, can I ask you a question? I was like, here it comes.
So I just thought he was just going to tell him both to fuck off and have a hissy fit. I didn't expect him just to go, death forever, like bang. Just fucking savage. And it's the bit I thought was the bit that was like fucking wrong was he's got the mimic guy in that cabin.
Oh god. Yeah.
He changes back. He's like, fucking change back now. Change back now. It's like, if I hold it too long, it hurts.
That part confused the fuck out of me.
But the guy was getting properly into the role as well.
Like, wait, what? There's no way she's in this scene. She's dead.
I was like, how the fuck have they done this?
I was like, oh my god, they're playing everybody for a fool. And then you realize what happens. You're like, oh, he's just fucking sick.
Yeah. The guy loves the role as well. He really gets into it. It's just the worst part.
It's such a good show, man. And I was like you, Ian. I didn't watch it for the longest time because I was like, dude, we've got Misfits, Heroes, Watchmen. It's such a, I don't want to say tired concept, but it's like we have superheroes, we're real people kind of thing. And so I was like, I'm not interested. I've seen this 3 times already. And then my buddies started watching it, and then y'all started commenting about it, and I was like, god damn it, I don't want to do like another Breaking Bad or Game of Thrones thing where I wait till the end. I'm just gonna start watching it, and holy shit, I watched season 1 in a day. It took me a little longer to watch season 2, but holy shit, dude, I couldn't stop. It's so good. And then immediately I got my mom into watching it, and I think I left her on episode 1, and then by like the next day she'd seen like 6 or 7 episodes. So
it's just so good.
So yeah, dude, it's fantastic.
I can't wait for that. I can't believe we've got to wait another year for another season. It's just gonna.
I know.
Yeah, because this
kills you.
Season 2.
But now I need figures. I need to, Homelander and Billy Butcher.
It's great, like the end where Homelander decides that his popularity means more to him than his son.
Yeah,
and chooses to toe the line, and
the
fucking Stormfront's just bacon.
Oh yeah, like, definitely an Anakin vibe there at the end.
Oh, big time, yeah.
I low-key think she's coming back with like robot limbs.
Apparently, she's already been confirmed.
Oh,
yeah,
she's coming back.
Because you think she's
see her die.
The thing is, from what I understand, is they've jumped away from the comics because in the comics, Stormfront's a guy.
Yeah.
Black
really?
Mantra. So in the comics, all the messed up shit that Homelander does is actually being done by Black Mantra, who's a clone of Stormfront.
Right.
So the big reveal in the comics is that it's a clone of Stormfront. Homelander. Homelander's still a shitbag, but he doesn't do the awful, horrendous shit that you see him do. He's been set up by his clone, which is Black Mantra. But they rewrote that and changed all that. So it's now completely different. Yeah, but I think there's bits that are the same. But
in the comics, the boys have powers.
Yeah,
they're not just dudes. But I think
they're like CIA Black Ops in the comics, aren't they?
Yeah, I think it's so much more interesting that they're literally just people. They're just
it works really well.
Yeah.
I tell you what, there's two amazing lines in this second season. One of them is where Homelander says to Maeve, but her and her girlfriend can scissor each other raw. And the other one is when Homelander and Stormfront are obviously getting on for the first time, and she goes, "Laser my fucking tits." And there's just two amazing lines. The writers were pissing themselves when they're writing those lines.
I liked it when it's Billy Butcher and he's talking to the senator, and she's going, I've been called a cunt by bigger and better people, and he goes, "It's a term of endearment where I come from." Brilliant.
Speaking of what, you think we're gonna get any like more British characters? Because there's superheroes all over the world, and so far we're only in what is it, New York?
Yeah,
true.
Yeah.
Parts of the world.
I think we're starting to see more. I'd like to see more of Billy in the third series, like what he was like before, because they keep mentioning his brother that died and stuff like that, but they don't really go into it. Like we saw his mum and dad, and his dad's the guy from Fringe. Doing like the worst Cockney accent I've ever seen in my life. Like, cool, blimey, governor, we're going to the apple and pears. Whee! I thought, fuck off. You're having a laugh, aren't you?
I think Billy Butcher is a superhero. He just doesn't use powers.
Well, they dropped it in this. He's SAS, isn't he? So he's obviously hard as nails, but
the stuff you and your brother went through, and your brother killed himself, but you're stronger. Like, I think maybe they were trying to make them superheroes, and he survived the treatment, and he's like, I guess, resents the fact that he survived, so he doesn't use his powers.
I would like it to go that way.
That'd be good.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, really, how are you supposed to stop Homelander if you're just a guy?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, like, because it reminds me a bit of. Did you ever watch Brightburn?
Yes. I did not seen it yet.
Yeah, that was really good.
So it reminds me of
kids. So I was like, dude, I would still kick that kid's ass.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it reminds me a bit of that. Like what if Superman was a complete arse?
Yeah.
The thing is that you can't get rid of Homelander. You can't kill him. He is half the show. So
the thing is, you kind of feel sorry for him sometimes, because you kind of you understand why he's that way.
Yeah,
because his whole life has been engineered for him to be this.
Yeah, you tell someone God every day of their life, they're gonna believe it.
And plus, he's the most powerful man in the world, but he has no control over his own life. Like, that must fuck with your mind big time. And that's why I really like it. And that's why, like, you think you've got Homelander, the world's most like powerful man, who's probably one of the most damaged people you will ever meet in your life. Like, no wonder that bird's his assistant's hair's falling out. Like, she must be thinking,
if funny.
If I some
nothing.
Yes, nothing. Like, if she so much as brings him like the wrong coffee, he could just snap and just fucking obliterate her.
Yeah.
Because when he fucking heat visions people, it's just horrific.
Brilliant.
Like, people are just exploding left, right, and center. fantastic. Like I can't wait for the third series because
what's the deal with is it the drink and the blowing up heads and stuff? Is it to do with that drink?
No, nothing to do with the drink. Nothing to do with it.
No, it's someone who has powers that you didn't know you has powers.
Yeah. It's really good. Because I was like, fuck.
Yeah, because I was like, wait a minute, dude, it's so funny that scene where they're in court. I was like, wait a minute, isn't there somebody that can just blow up people's heads? And like the second I finished the thought, boom.
Yeah.
That's fantastic when they explode, isn't it? It's just
it's really that is something. The effects are just amazing, and they're not overused either. They just use the right amount.
Like Game of Thrones, where it's like the production quality is so high, it doesn't feel like a TV show. I mean, granted, it's really not a TV show, but it is.
It's got Amazon's budget behind it, wasn't it? So we're over here. I don't know who puts it out over there, but it's got some serious money behind it.
Yeah,
I heard they're going to start filming pretty soon for season 3. So I guess it'll be a while before we get that. But
because it must have a lot of post production.
Big time.
It's really funny because I told Zach. In fact, he started watching. He said he was on episode 2 when we started recording. He was like, so what's it about? And I started explaining it. He's like, is that what that Billy Mays looking character? I think Ian posted the sculpt of Billy Butcher, and I was like, oh my god, it does look like Billy Mays. Do you guys know who Billy Mays is?
No, who the fuck's Billy Mays?
Okay, he passed away, but he used to be an infomercial like, buy this cleaning supply and call now and you'll get a free one. Like, it's really obnoxious, but
he's our version of he's your version of Barry Scott.
Silly bang.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, but obviously he's way cooler than Billy Mays, the fucking Carl Urban dude. And that's like was the selling point of the show for me with Carl Urban.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Legit, until you start to look at everything he's been in, you think you don't realize how much stuff the fuck has been in.
You didn't remember he was in Lord of the Rings, did you, Steve?
No, I didn't at all. I always forget he was in Thor Ragnarok as well because he's unrecognizable in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's so amazing. I love
him as Bones in Star Trek as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's a great character actor, isn't he? He really is.
Yeah, Dredd.
My favorite.
Dredd's the best.
So good. I really hope we get a
see. It's Dredd.
Yeah. Got that figure. I've got both Dredd figures, but yeah, that's my favorite one.
And
it's a shame they never made another one.
I know, dude.
They keep threatening a TV series, don't they?
Right.
But and he's meant to be in it, but I don't know when that's coming.
And I asked my friends because again they started talking about it. They both started watching at the same time, and I was like, dude, like Carl Urban's in the show. I was like, but is he a main character? And my buddy's like, yes, he's the main character, which he's not. I think Huey is the main character, but it's like Star Wars. It's like, well, Han Solo's also a main character. Like, it's so much of each character that it's like, really, who's the main character?
It's more of an ensemble, isn't it? Really, it's not. Yeah. There's no lead.
Yeah. And so there's enough Carl Urban that I'm like, I'm watching this shit. So
totally.
So good. I think anybody else in that role wouldn't work. I think Carl Urban just nailed it.
Yeah, he's spot on.
Yeah. Talking about great TV shows, I mean, do you guys watch Stranger Things? Because that's that's on again soon, as well as Mandalorian. So we've got plenty to look forward to.
I tell you what, I've started watching Van Helsing on Netflix.
I'm not gone anywhere near that yet.
It completely flew under my radar. I'd started watching a couple of episodes and I was like, oh, more fucking vampire shit. Like it's going to be some Walking Dead vampire nonsense. And I was like, nah, fuck that. And I got to the point where I'd finished watching The Boys. I'd finished watching everything. I was like, oh, fuck it. I'll give it another go. I picked up again from where I'd left off on like the second episode. I'm now like halfway through series 2. It's really, really good. I don't know why I didn't give it the time of day before.
Give it a watch.
They've they have this thing called the burning, and what the vampires do is effectively similar to like the Matrix. They just fucking pollute all the air, so you've just got massive cloud cover everywhere, so they can all come out in the middle of the fucking day. No, and when they bite you, you turn into a vampire, but it's not like you're kind of you're more like a kind of zombie, but all your like free will and anything good about you just fucking disappears. And this woman, Vanessa, you see her at the beginning when everything's normal. This guy just fucking breaks into her house and fucking kills her, stone dead. She then wakes up like 3 years later, and this army guy has been watching over her for 3 years. And she's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, the whole world's gone to shit at this point. And you never find out why this bloke, he was just told, you need to protect her. That's your orders. You protect her. So he was just hanging around her for fucking 3 years. But what she can do, she can bite zombies and turn them back to humans. And when they come back, they can't then be turned back into a zombie. And then if she bites, there's a whole weird thing going on where, depending on who she bites, something different fucking happens. But it's really, really good. I was thinking it was going to be a bit of a mix between The Walking Dead and it was just going to be a bit of shit, but it's good. The action sequences are good. It's quite gory, which I quite like.
Is it live action?
Yeah, live action.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, it's worth watching.
I don't have Netflix anymore.
There's one scene where these vampires, because they have this thing called the Citadel, where one of them's made, and they keep humans around for food and for, just do their bidding generally. And they're sitting there eating what looks like soup, and you realize, it's blood because they're vampires, and you think, so what they fucking bottle it. And one of them gets up to get some more food, goes over to the corner, and they've just got this woman slumped in the corner where they've slit her throat and put her hands out, so she's holding this like serving bowl. So she's just bleeding into this bowl, and they're going along just with a ladle, just taking it out and putting it in their bowl and going back down and sitting down. I was like, that's fucking grim. But the gore's probably up there with The Boys. Like, there's people with throats being ripped out left, right, and centre. It's worth watching.
Talking of gore, I've just been watching some Narcos again. If you've watched any Narcos,
no, everyone says it's good.
Really, really good. But there's a bit in there now, and it's all based on real life stuff. I don't know. It says they've changed some stuff, but season 2 about halfway through now, and there's this kind of rival gang that are targeting Pablo Escobar's people, and they kill them, and they just like cut them up and pose them in these grotesque kind of it's disgusting. There was one where they just got all these like arms and legs and they're posing them, and it's like, oh man, that's right. And like the effects will look really
real story.
Yeah, it's very troubling when you realize that most of it's true.
Yeah.
The things they did, fucked up. Yeah,
I've been watching. I don't know if you guys like sci-fi.
Oh yeah.
Definitely. I mean, I know you like Star Wars, but I mean like sci-fi that's not Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
On Amazon, The Expanse. Have you seen it?
I've heard it's really good.
No, it's on my watch list.
Dude,
my friends watched it all.
I couldn't stop. I've watched all of it. I think the new season comes out next month, so it'll be 5 seasons.
Yeah,
but dude, it's so good. I got my buddy into it finally because I was like, I watched The Boys. You got to watch The Expanse. And he called me like 2 days later, like this and this and this, and he's going back and forth. It's so intricate and so well thought out. It's such a fantastic, it's so good. You guys,
I think it's in 4K as well, isn't it?
I think so.
That looks a treat as well.
Yeah.
I was watching. There was a thing on Netflix, and it had Starbuck in it from the. And it was another of these space ones, and they were going. This big monolith had landed on Earth that was sending a signal out to space. They sent this spaceship to go find out about the signal, but because of how far away it was going, they'd have to stay like in hypersleep. They wake up too early, and effectively, because of they fuck up a maneuver, they now don't have enough fuel to get to where they want to go or go home. So on the way along, they have to keep making pit stops at planets to get more fuel and food and stuff like that. And I think it ran for one series, and they haven't said they're going to renew it, but it was insanely good because what I thought at the beginning was there was only a crew of like 7. There's a crew of like 400 people on this ship that are in cryo state, and they have a fatality in the crew that's awake, or something happens to one of them, they either pop them back in the freezer and just defrost another one. And they're all interchangeable. And I didn't realize that until like half of the crew just got decimated in one episode. And I was like, what the fuck are they going to do? So they just pop out another 4 people out the freezer, explain what's gone on, and gone, now you got to come with us.
Dude, that's a good way of writing characters off of actors who don't want to be in the show anymore.
Yeah.
What's it called?
I can't remember. I'll have to find.
It's Katie Sackhoff is the.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was out last year.
Yeah, I remember seeing it on there, but I didn't watch it. I love stuff like that where it's kind of weird, like Moon. You see Moon with
dude, it's so good.
That is amazing when you get the twist at the end, and you're like, oh man,
it's very similar to, although it's not as actiony. What's the one with Tom Cruise? I love it.
Oh, Oblivion.
Yes.
Yeah.
So good. Dude, that's one of my top favorite Tom Cruise movies. It's underrated. No one talks about that movie.
I watched it again recently. It's really good. Yeah, I did like it.
I'm trying to find out what it is.
Man, you guys go for a long time on this show.
Well, the problem is we have a show sheet, but we don't really stick to it. We just waffle on.
No.
We just waffle on. Another Life is what it's called.
Okay.
Well worth watching.
Yes. Okay. I think I had that on my watch list, but again, I don't have Netflix anymore.
No, it's really good. Insanely good. And then this happened probably about half an hour before we came on.
Yeah.
We started to get pictures of Tom Holland as Nathan Drake.
Cool.
It looks very, very cool, but I can't help but think he looks a bit young.
Yeah.
Point. It's like an origin story.
Yeah, it'll be an origin. Yeah, it'll be like pre the first game, won't it? Where he probably meets Sully and. But
in the so it depends how true to the games they're going to go, because he met Sully when he was like a kid.
Yeah.
He like picked his pocket and shit. But I like this. I think this looks pretty good. I'm looking forward to the Uncharted films.
I think it'd be better than Mark Wahlberg, because he was slated for it, wasn't he? He was in line for it a few years back, I think.
To be fair, like the guy who voices him could do it. He's an actor himself. He could do it, and I think that sometimes I think if they just give the voice actors a go, and when you see him in real life, he's not too dissimilar to Nathan Drake in the video game.
They're kind of taking elements of him.
Did you see Nathan Fillion play Nathan Drake in his short movie?
Yes, it looked really good.
That was fantastic. And then that actor, the guy who does play Nathan Drake, replaced Nathan Fillion as the voice actor for Cade 6 and Destiny, and they're so interchangeable. You almost missed it. If you didn't know, you probably would have missed it. Like, oh, that's not Nathan Fillion anymore.
This
because he's one of them.
He's one of the biggest top. He's one of the top voice actors when it comes to video games.
Yeah,
the amount of voices the guy does is just phenomenal. He's practically in every video game you've ever played. Like, he's really good.
Yeah.
But I'm quite looking forward to this film, to be fair.
Yeah, me too. If it ever comes out. The state of films at the moment.
Yeah. And then group shenanigans. So I think you guys touched upon this in your show. Yeah, so Justin's Collectibles put up a post because they were apparently contacted by someone from Warner Brothers saying, I write on behalf of Warner Brothers Entertainment Inc. and its affiliated DC Comics. As you know, Warner Brothers owns all rights to the Batman, Batmobile, and Justice League names, characters, logos, related in indicia, whatever the fuck that means. Yeah. It's come to our attention that you're posting a YouTube reviews of products created by Jazz Inc. See example link below. Jazz Inc. is not licensed by us, and therefore their products infringe our copyrights, trademarks, other intellectual property. Now, Jazz had put up, he replied to a comment saying he hasn't been contacted. The way he runs stuff is he puts the money that's not used in R&D in a separate account, doesn't touch it till the sales are through. the way he seems to run his business, and we've had him. We spoke to him before. He's a good friend of the show.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone has anything to worry about with him in the slightest.
No.
See everyone right if anything went tits up.
Definitely.
This seems a bit weird. That I think it's weird that they would approach Justin to tell him to take his video down. I mean, we've been getting some cracking memeage out of it, but
on the show, I was like, good things came out of it were the memes, but that's about it.
Yeah, and the thing is, and that's not anyone like the memes and the jokes and stuff. Isn't anyone having a go at Justin? It's just making light of a pretty shit situation, which, to be fair, is what most people do.
That's what we need right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything's a shit situation.
Yeah, exactly. So if we can laugh about it, and like I don't know what the deal was between the two of them. Whether now, has Justin quite painfully says on every single video he pays for his stuff, he reviews it, he can do what the fuck he likes with it, and that's true. So if he's paid for his Justice Mobile and he wants to review it 100%, that's up to him.
Yeah,
he can do what the fuck he likes.
Yeah, that's what I told Zach. I was like, this makes 0 sense.
Yeah,
I thought maybe it was like a troll, like trying to fuck with people.
I don't get why if they've got an issue, it's almost
just take it down. Why bother sending an email telling you, hey, I don't like this? Just take that shit down.
Yeah, because all that shit's normally handled through YouTube.
Yep.
So I don't get it. It just seems weird and unusual. I'm not saying it's a load of old bollocks, but it just seems strange.
I mean,
how did he receive it? Was it an email?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he reply to it and try and work out whether it was actually genuine or not? Or?
I don't know.
I don't think there's been an update. But maybe if the email said something along the lines of like, could you please change the language in your video that does not say Justice League Batmobile? Like, just change the wordage. And
that's the error, isn't it? Because they're not called that. Yoast is careful to call them something similar, but it's the Justice Mobile.
To show up in his email with a big swinging dick saying like, "Hey, fuck you!" Take this shit down. It's like, why? I don't owe you anything.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a weird thing. Like, I still, part of me thinks this is like someone trolling.
It just doesn't sit right. Now, I think at some point someone's going to come a knocking to say, "Oi, naughty boy," because particularly if they've done it with, say, Iron Geek. But to me, like, I think the community itself has to be a little bit more savvy around how we share things, and if you're getting this cool stuff, and yes, people want to share it and they should be able to, but just be a little bit smarter. So when you upload videos, if Jazz Inc. is calling it something, call it that. Don't call it the Justice Mobile. Don't call it.
Everybody was uploading
it
as such, and I was like, why? Why would you do that?
Yeah, at some point it's going to catch someone's attention, particularly when like some of these channels that are sharing it have got millions of subscribers. Someone at some point is going to go, hang on a sec. Like, I just think as a community, we've got to be a little bit more smarter as to how we.
Yeah, because I want to say, and look, I'm going to double check right now.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not any like trademark or I'm not. This is just me. I'm not an expert on this in the slightest, but it just seems like we've had a close call.
Yeah, I was gonna say when we got the Super Mad Toys K in, I'm looking. Yeah, like Zach uploaded the video, and well, actually, he put Blade Runner 2049. I did that part out, but he put Super Mad Toys Officer K, which is what it's marketed as. It's obviously not supposed to say Blade Runner 2049, but foot and mouth. My bad.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of worry then that anyone that had anything pre-ordered with Yoast was all going to kind of go tits up. But I messaged him, and he's all, like, because I've got what do they call it? A smuggler's ship cockpit. I don't know what he actually calls it, to be honest. Is it just called the Falcon cockpit or something? But yeah, so mine is due to be shipped out in November. So
yeah, I'm so jealous.
Very excited about that.
I was hoping I would have money left over from my buying a truck to buy one, but that didn't happen.
Yeah, but I may never appear on the show again when my missus sees it arrive and asks me how much it cost me and where I'm going to put it. She'll have a great suggestion as to where I put it, where I stick it. So yeah, that might be the end of my life. So it might, you may never see me again, but I'm excited for it anyway.
Yeah.
The week after he gets it won't be Pete sitting in the chair; it'll just be the Falcon cockpit, just sitting up.
Yeah,
just with blood splatter across.
Yeah, exactly. And the Han Solo with his head ripped off.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit worried about that, but overall, I think I'm excited.
I think you're going to be fine. I just think I think anything involving Jazz, because he's like, Juice, because he's like the saint of the community. Like, he's given us so much. I think he holds like a special place in the community's heart. So I think if anything even threatens that, everyone will circle round like wild dogs. And kind of just attack beyond belief.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was just a weird situation to occur.
But it was good of Yost to come out and say, look, even if it all went pear-shaped and I had to stop making all this stuff, you'd all get your money back. I've not touched it, kind of thing. I mean, there's an NRD, which is fine, because he puts that into R&D and stuff like that, and we all accepted that when we made this thing. But
and I'm not being funny. Anything like this, regardless of who it is, there's an element of risk. There's always an element of risk. And you just have to accept that because of the nature of what it is that you're buying. Yeah, that's just part of it. It's the same as when we order figures from Hong Kong. There's an element of risk there. Like, these people, we give them our money, they could just fuck off. There's nothing we can really do about it. Like, there is an element of risk, and I think people just tend to forget that sometimes. But
it's true.
Exactly. But hopefully it will blow over and everyone will live to fight another day. And then so Sideshow Spectacular started. So there's lots of codes and shit like that available. I'm a shitbag for codes. I never ever look, and I never ever get any. And I know these groups and all sorts that have popped up around codes, and I should really get into it.
So I don't understand it. What's this whole thing where there's like groups and these things come out, and if you comment on it, then you get like banned forever or something?
I think they post the code in the group when a new one, and you take the code, you load it up. First come, first serve, but it's there purely for the code, nothing else. It's not for comments or anything like that, because otherwise the chat would just get clogged up.
Right.
So as soon as anyone even puts a thumbs up or thanks for the ad, they're fucking straight out. Then Zach does the best memes of Juice.
Well, because you think if everybody said thanks or thumbs up, you'd have 100 notifications. So just like, shut your mouth, accept the code, and move on with your day. I don't join those codes because I'm gonna get them anyway from everyone else. I've already gotten 2 for Spectacular, the very first one, and then one like an hour ago. But it's fun. I want to say they got rid of that stupid queue thing they were doing, where they would lock you out of the site and you had to wait your turn instead of just trying to get it.
So we don't really know that much about it, do we? Because we haven't really used Sideshow.
Oh, dude, it's a fucking nightmare.
I mean, I'm going to start using them more because I don't like pre-ordering stuff that's 2 years out. And I think if I look at when things do get released and the prices of them on Sideshow, they're very similar. And a lot of the time they're cheaper on Sideshow at that point. So I'm going to start to pay more attention to codes and stuff and try and build up a little bank.
Yeah, because I have over $100 right now.
Yeah.
Just from codes.
So how do you actually get them? They just flash them up on the website?
Yeah, they'll tweet them out. They'll post them on their website, and you have anywhere from a minute to like 5 minutes to get the code.
And you have to log in and bank it, do you? In that time,
which makes it difficult because either you're at a time crunch, So if it's like a $5 code, you have like probably less than a minute.
Right.
If it's like a $2 code, you probably have like 4 or 5 minutes. But then you got to either fight the traffic, right? Because sometimes the website won't load because there's so many people on it.
Yeah.
They put you in a queue, so you have to wait your turn. They did that for the last one. I haven't run across it now. Or they only let like 5,000 people get the code.
Right. Okay. And
that's an arbitrary number. It's probably not even that many. So you're either fighting the time, or you're fighting bandwidth, or you're fighting everybody else trying to get the code.
Yeah.
Last time, which was just a few weeks ago, what was that? I don't remember what they were doing for the giveaways.
Oh, I remember you guys talking about it.
I don't remember what the event was, but it was codes for like a week.
It's like a yearly thing they do, isn't it? It's every year.
Toy Mafia said 2,000 people. Yeah, so they put you in a queue and you kind of just had to wait. But I think it became it was so difficult that I think a lot of people just stopped trying, and I had no problem getting codes after that. It was wild, but I actually have to go right now.
No worries, you're off.
Pushing on, man. You guys are almost at 3 hours.
We're nearly done.
We're nearly done. That's what the editing's going to be, right, bitch?
All right, guys. I'll see you.
Cheers, Dean.
Right, catch you later.
Mate.
See you later. Bye. Yeah.
Then
so,
there were two.
And then there were two, dropping like flies. So yeah, custom corner. I've been a bit busy. I've been playing with my 3D printer again, and I've been fucking about with scaling. So the Mando helmet, I tried to get in 6 scale, which is, I think, slightly too small. I could probably do with making it a tiny bit bigger. And then I found on CG Trader the Two-Face head sculpt that I bought, and I've printed one of them out and painted it. I actually figured out how to. So you would assume that when you download software, you can just circle what you want to remove, say how deep you want holes, all that kind of shit. It doesn't work like that at all. You have to make the neck hole. Yeah. Because when I bought that, it didn't have any neck hole. It was just a head.
Yeah.
You have to make a cylinder, kind of overlap it so it sits inside, merge the two, then remove the cylinder, and then it leaves the hole for the right fucking ball ache.
Yeah.
So I did that, printed that off and painted that up. And I think it came out okay. I think because it's animated again, I think the eyebrow could have probably used with them just putting some detail on it instead of it just being a slug. But other than that, I didn't think it was too bad. I think it was a pretty good sculpt. I've got a Nathan Fillion to do that I was sent with an Indy and a David from the boys. So I've done those, knocked those out. And then I've got Watto Obi-Wan Kenobi from Clone Wars. Cool. Yeah, so I've done that, and I've printed a little stand for it, so it will sit next to my Obi-Wan. I just put it on the body just to see what it would look like. So ideally, I think I need to do like the clone armor and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that look pretty good.
Really,
and then
really good,
I have another Vader sculpt. So I scaled this down from the last one I did, and repainted it. And I think this one came out better. Like the paint wise, I think this one came out a lot better because I've chromed up bits. And I actually gave it all a purple wash as well. And that seems to have sat into a lot of the. I think that's probably my favourite one I've done so far.
Yeah. Because you were talking earlier about the sizing and stuff, because you printed one a bit larger, and you're not sure which one works.
Yeah,
best.
so I've got two at the moment. I've got this one, which is the same size as, say, that Nathan Fillion.
Yeah.
So that's true 6 scale. Not a problem. I'm happy that that's the right scale. The ones I had done before are bigger, quite a lot bigger. But when you put them on the Vader, they look in scale because Vader's, particularly his chest armor and all of that, are quite big. So I'm really looking at both going, I don't know which one scale wise looks better, because I think they both look fine.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of thinking.
Yeah, it's an odd one, because I was saying to you before the show that there's a thread on Sideshow Freaks where somebody's sculpting and looking at releasing some armor sets and stuff for Vader, and they've kind of found that when they've printed them in true 1/6 scale and then stuck them on a Hot Toys or a Sideshow Vader, they look too small.
Yeah,
because all the Vaders are, as you said, they're a bit too tall. The helmet's too big. All the armor's a bit big. So people are saying, well, they're kind of going, do you want us to go with 1/6, or do you want to? And then they've kind of scaled up to, and it's actually quite noticeable, the difference when they've got like the dome
like
of
true
the
1/6
true 1/6 next to the Hot Toys size one. It's quite a massive difference. So it's quite an interesting one. It's a difficult one to get exactly right, because obviously if you go with all if you were to order the 1/6 set, how do you make the overall body smaller?
Yeah.
To not make the stuff look too small. So yeah, it is a tricky one, I think. I mean, Zach could be the person to the expert on Vader, but.
I mean, what I've started, so I've got some calipers now, and what I do is I get a 6 scale sculpt, an actual proper manufactured one, and I measure that now. So if I go ear to ear, I'll go, this is how wide I want it to be, and then the rest of the axes are kind of locked in place. So when you change the X one, which would be ear to ear, it changes the rest in, and it gives you a percentage as to how much it's scaled down from the original. Yeah. Because then what you can do is, if you've got, so this Vader one comes in 6 parts. The head's one piece. Yeah. The collar's another. The collar vent is another piece. The 2 little the bits that kept falling off the Sideshow, the tusks are 2 separate pieces. Yeah. And the 2 bits on the ends of the mouthpiece are separate pieces. So you have to glue all that.
Tiny,
Yeah, so you have to glue all that together and then paint it all. So it comes in. So when you scale down the head, you have to make sure you make a note of that percentage to then scale down everything else so it all fits. Yeah. But I honestly think it's probably the actual sculpt is one of the best unmasked shawls I've seen.
Really good, yeah.
And it came free with the guy. So this guy had sculpted an actual full Vader, a Cloud City stand, and I think the file was like $25 US. And then this head sculpt was sculpted by someone else and was given away free with that. Yeah. So I effectively bought this whole statue, like the file, just to get this head sculpt, because I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
The only downside is if you can see here, so here's one I haven't painted, right? So underneath it has this peg. And that goes into what was meant to be the statue. So when you fit it onto a 6 scale, you take the peg out of the neck, pad that out, and then just slot that in, and it fits in fine. I was looking at digitally removing this whole middle section, so the scope would sit in. There'd be a hole in the head, which would help for when I paint it, and you could fit something in there. The only issue I've got with that is that when you do that in the software, because of that's not perfectly flat on the bottom, it ruins the whole sculpt for some reason. It won't do it, so I need to look into that. But I'm really liking that sculpt. I printed a few for people to have one. Now I did one of the larger ones. I did put a post up in the groups. If you commented on the post, I'll put you in a draw. I had one person for an unpainted one, so I'll message him after this, and if he wants one, I'll fucking send him one. Cool. Yeah, because I've got a few of both scales, the larger and the smaller, so he gets a larger one. But yeah, and then I think this week I've got some Watto stuff to do. I've got 2 majors. I think one for Dean, one for another guy. And I've got a fair bit to plow through. I've also got this here to do. A Kreacher from Harry Potter that I stripped off.
Yeah.
The scope's actually not that bad.
Well, that's the Star Race one, is it?
No, so that's Mattel.
Yeah. Oh, that's right, because you did the.
So I've done Hagrid, McGonagall, Snape, and Dumbledore.
Mm-hmm.
So I've done those, and that's the last one I've got to do, and then I can send those off. So that's it for me. I've not been too busy. I've managed to get a fair bit done. And then again, Watto's, the man, the myth, legend, has sponsored us, so we'd like to say thank you to him yet again.
Thank you very much.
Honestly, if you want head sculpts done, if you want Kenner vehicle parts, just give him a shout. He's a top man, and he will see you right. Cool. And then we have our CW awards. So we normally have fun with these, don't we, Pete? Because
we don't know what half the shit is.
We don't know what half them are, but have a look on Ox. There's lots of things to vote on. So they've got
at the moment. Sorry, at the moment. So they're asking for people to nominate their nominations for each category, and then obviously and that's up until 1st of December, and then as a group we'll kind of streamline that down. So I think it's 5, isn't it, in each category?
I think so. Generally, I don't pay too much attention.
Yeah,
I don't.
Yeah, we should then obviously we ask people to vote, and then obviously the most votes wins that category. So so what are the categories we've got there, Ian?
So there's most improved company, best overall company, best head sculpt, best figure under 30, best non-traditional scale, best 1/12 figure, best third party, best 1/6, and figure of the year. So there's some good ones in there, to be fair.
Yeah, I've put my. Have you put yours in yet? I
did a week ago.
Yeah, the only one I struggled with was the third party one. I couldn't really think of much. I settled on the Sensation Smuggler in the end from Game of Thrones. I had to check, but he came out, I think, in December 2019, and that is included in these. It's December 2019 to this December, I think. So there's a little bit of leeway at the back end of 2019. But yeah, what did you go for in that?
Best third party.
Yeah.
Can't remember. No idea. My problem is I mean, I can keep voting, which is quite handy. Like, we can keep nominating stuff as things come out. But to me, 2020 has been such a dumpster fire, and I've really not got a lot of things that have been brand spanking new this year. A lot of the stuff I've bought is all stuff that came out last year. I've rarely had this year any brand new releases of anything.
No.
It's all been stuff that I can't remember the last brand spanking new figure I had. It was probably Crate Luke.
Yeah.
And that was last year. Like, I just haven't had anything new.
No, and it's an odd one because it's harder to vote when you don't actually own any of the stuff that you're, you know, even if you've in a couple of categories, you might actually have something. I bought that figure and that is bang on, and that's the one I go for. I mean, I've gone for the Hot Toys Mando in the 1/6 and the overall, and that's just based on other people's opinions. But obviously, you know, I will have him soon, and I've not heard anyone say anything bad about it.
Yeah,
so I know it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, you see, I don't want to vote until I've got something in hand. I think the category I'm going to like the best probably is head sculpt, because I deal with head sculpts quite a lot. So I know what I think's good and what's bad.
But again, I voted for something that I don't own. So it's an odd one, isn't it? Because you're going on, you know, you've not had it in hand. You're going on reviews and other people's. But it's nice if it is something that you own and you can say, yeah, well, I've got, you know.
Because last year figure of the year was Maul.
It was, and you had him,
Yeah, and I voted for that one. Because it was out of last year. I think that was probably my favourite thing I had.
Yes.
But
so
yeah,
beat that with
Mando
this year. Yeah,
I think it goes without saying that Mando's going to get it.
So I think he's going to beat that.
I think Mando's going to get. I'll call it now. I think Mando's going to get figure of the year and best 1/6.
Yeah.
And I think best third party, I think might be the Blade Runner. one that Zach got.
I think so. I think so. Yeah,
because that took ages to come out. And when it did, people loved it, and it instantly shot up to like more than a Hot Toys figure. Like,
No, I think that's probably a shoe-in. Definitely, I think the best 1/12 will be quite a hotly contested. Because there's quite a few bits and pieces that people have come out with, and
we just don't know enough about 1/12, and
we don't. And I dabble in it a bit. I've got a few. I buy the odd figure. I've actually ordered just something to sort of sit and play with while I'm working. I ordered the Black Series Beskar Armor Mando, 20 quid, look really good, and I just it'll just sit on my desk and I can kind of just muck about with it. But yeah, I mean, some of that stuff looks really good. 1/6 will always be my core. But I don't mind having a few. I always have a few 1/12 just kicking around, just because they're easy to just pick up and just kind of just mess about with.
I think the first kind of grown-up collectible thing, like toy, I bought was probably I got it with Metal Gear Revengeance. Playouts Kai were giving away the figure. Okay. Absolutely loved it. I thought it was absolutely phenomenal, and that's when I started searching for more. That's when I came across Hot Toys, and that's when I then got a Star Spangled Man, and then I ended up getting just more and more. The Wolverine set that I had, and the Playouts Kai got sold, and that was it. I was 6 scale all the way from then. 1/12 got me into collecting.
Yes.
But only
same with me, because I kind of go back bit further than you. So I was buying the Movie Maniacs, the McFarlane ones.
Yeah.
Which started mid 90s, I'm going to say. I don't know exactly, but
because I used to have their because I'd always dabbled. So I'd had their Rash and their Snake Snake Plissken.
Yep. I mean, at the time, he was smashing it. They were so much better than anything else, like detail-wise, sculpting. And it's kind of good to see them kind of having a resurgence. I know there's been people saying, "Oh, why is he doing a Kickstarter and all this kind of thing?" But
their Batman stuff's phenomenal.
Yeah, it is, and they've always been strong, and I think they've got some good licenses now, and they're putting out some really good figures. So it's kind of, I haven't bought any yet, but it'd be kind of nice to have one to kind of say I've kind of come full circle. That's where I started collecting. I had the Leatherface, as I say, and Freddy Krueger. Then I bought a lot of the Sleepy Hollow stuff. And I don't know if you remember any of that. There was like a full-on horse and a big diorama and the headless, really good stuff. And I actually sold it off a few years ago for quite a bit of money to like a local toy collector store. But yeah, that's kind of what got me into it all. And I can't actually remember how I first stumbled across Hot Toys, but it was the DX05, which was the first one I bought, and that's what started it all for me.
So just an update on Bespin Luke. It's now 11:30. Still out for delivery.
You still optimistic on that one?
Our good friends at Parcel Force. I hate Parcel Force. I hate them so very much, and it bothers me that I have to use them sometimes. Like the saber I traded, I could send the hilt Royal Mail, and that got there the next day fine. Yeah. And the actual blade, because it was too long, had to go via Parcel Force. And I just fucking hate Parcel Force.
You sent them separately, did you? Or?
Yeah, I had no choice but to send it separate because
and you've got that dreaded, like you go to. I had to use Parcel Force yesterday because Dean bought my Commando and my T800 Tech Noir. Now Commando, I expected to weigh over 2 kilograms because that's a heavy rubber body, so I sent that courier. But the Tech Noir, I thought I'd be safe, and it was literally like point something over 2 kilograms. And then you've either got to think, well, I've got to take it home, strip it all down, put like one less layer of bubble wrap. But you can't keep going back. And I haven't got a pair of scales that go up to 2 kilograms. So then it's like fucking Parcel Force. It's an extra £8 to cover it, and you think, oh man, what are they going to fucking do to it as well?
I'll tell you, I use DHL quite a lot now.
Yeah,
door to door, particularly for anything overseas. You're looking at 30 or quid, but they pick it up from my house and they drop it off at the other end. Normally, stuff gets there within about a week. I tried sending Dan Lee's stuff. I sent his stuff via Royal Mail.
Right.
Booked it in with them, everything, dropped it off post office. I think it only arrived in America beginning of the week, and I shipped it on like the 5th.
Yeah, it's
whereas
bad.
DHL's like a week.
It's so unpredictable because I just sent some indie gear out to a guy in the US, and it's taken 8 days with Royal Mail. So it's just a lottery, I think. But the couriers are more reliable. Like that
DHL always seems to get
that India sent out to Zach. That was there in like 2 days. It was unbelievable, And I use TNT because Dean uses them a lot, says they're really good, and that they were good. And obviously, I was just at the post office, and I went, fuck it, I'm here. I'll pay Parcel Force, but I'd rather have spent that same money on a courier. But
normally anything in the UK, I can normally get it sent for next day special delivery for like 12 quid, and it's fine.
Yeah, as long as you don't go over 2 kilogram, and then you're fucked. It's just such a weird weight that they chose, and that's always been that way.
It's dead easy to jump over. Dead easy.
Yeah, I know. This is like just a tiny fraction. I was like,
the only thing with DHL that winds me up is that they insist on everything in kilograms.
Yes.
So when you get away a box, like a figure box, it always lays, most of the time, it weighs less than 1 kilo. So you type in, 0.125. It will go, no, it has to be less than a kilo. I'm like, that is less than a fucking kilo. That's what it is in grams. So in the end, what you end up doing is just going, fuck you then. It's 1 kilo.
Yeah, exactly. You just put in, it's what you want it to be. Yeah. And it's like, I just
say, fine, it weighs more than that. Fine. Like, it weighs way less than that, but fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Process, it weighs a kilo.
So,
fine. But so Patreonies, you want to take it away, Pete?
Yeah. We have Ben Porter, Griffin Campbell, Sean Fear, Ian Seaby, Rene Mendes, Eric Mariscal, Quinn Aguirre, Leo Hernandez, King Louis, Mark Pearson, Dan Lee, Deanie Martin, Stephen Krett, Jason Nelson, Big Fern, King Zachary V, Cesar Maraquin, Eddie Mendez, Eric Ruiz, Mario Cortez, Stephen Percher, Sean Yautzi, Scott Bradley, Jesse Contreras, and Stephen Maria Stanley. Thank you all for your contributions and helping keep the network running.
You keep the home fires burning.
Yeah. It's very nice to know that people are actually happy to pay money to listen to this shit.
I know.
Well, they pay to listen to Dean and Zach, and I think they probably.
Yeah, I think they pay to listen to the other shows and our inane ramblings for 3 hours of nonsense.
Yeah,
where we just pretty much spit by everything that's released, and we go, "That's shit. What the fuck are they doing with that? That's bollocks." we're like the grumpy old men in the we're just like fuck it, it's all shit.
We're a refreshing alternative view on things.
People don't come here for joy and sunshine. They just
they come in for the foul language, as we're well aware now.
Yeah, the foul ninja squirrel.
So if you're not currently a Patreon and you fancy joining that wonderful bunch of people, then there's a $5 a month, which we think is about £3.50 in real money. That gets you the monthly sticker sent out to your door. Or if you go for the crispy tier, which is $15, about £12 a month. I don't know if have we got any. Are there any? Oh, Ian's British, Ian Seaby. Just wondering how many of them are in the UK. So you get the stickers, you get a certificate, and your man here, Ian, will paint you a sculpt, one per year. You are responsible for.
I see it now. What you were saying the other day. About
it sounds like you're giving them the sculpt.
I'm going, there you go.
You provide, well, you could now with your printing, but so you provide the sculpt. You're responsible for shipping both ways to and from Ian, but he will provide his painting skills for gratis. And if you've got a figure that's broken in some way and it might be fixable, then message Zach and he'll see what he can do.
Cool.
Yeah,
that is that's Patreon, and we've got lots of other shows on our network. So we have Oxyon, which is on our group Auxiliary. So there's an auction that they run every now and again. People list their figures. It was very good last time. Yeah, some of the deals they were getting were great.
Again, it's really for the US guys, because I think once you add the shipping and stuff on, then it kind of kills it a bit for overseas. But for the US listeners, it's a good thing. Get on there,
definitely. Then you obviously got Collecting Weekly. The big boys who are on.
Yeah.
Collecting Rarities with Rainer, who talks about the darkest, well, not the darker side of collecting, that's us, but the more obtuse things that people collect.
Yeah, I think they're recording this weekend, so they've got a new one coming up Saturday, I think. So, and
then we got Small Talk, which they are recording next Thursday, and their last recording should have dropped today or possibly tomorrow.
Unfortunately, Damien's taken a break for a while. So Dylan's still there. I've said that if I can work out timings, then I'm quite happy to go on a few. Try and improve my knowledge on the 1/12th market. But yeah, that'd be good. So I'm trying to work something out with Dylan, see if I can get on a couple of those.
Cool. Then we got the Joy of Hobbying, which is I think Zach's just done a couple of videos this week.
Yeah,
he's done it's a Halo figure from Reach.
He took
can't remember the name. He's done a real good job on that.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah. Then you have us, what we'd like to consider the jewel in the crown of the network.
Yep.
Then we got Collecting Comics, which is great, which is obviously, as the name implies, all about comics.
Yep.
After Dark, which Zach and Dean do. It's mainly a lot of rimming, to be fair, but it's a good program. And then Creeps Are Us with our main man Manny, talk about the creepier side of life. So that's our network. We've got quite a lot going on. We pump out quite a lot of content, which is good. Some of it good. Some of it not so good, like us, where we just ramble on for a bit. But that is us. And I think, I'd like to thank the 5 people that have held on till the bitter end.
True champions.
3 hours and 6 minutes of us whittling on. Like, God bless you. I do not have the patience that you guys do. So I will see you all later.
Yeah.
I'm off to bed. Bye-bye. Night-night.
Cheers. Bye.